Rude. Chris, can you just check your mic? Josh says he can't hear you.
That would be the other button I need to press. Yay, we're professional. Excellent. I'll start that again, shall I? Hello, my name is Chris Mebham. I am an illustrator, a geek, a DM, a all-around nerd. And I have the absolute pleasure of being the DM for these three wonderful people who I will introduce you to very momentarily. Also, big thanks, Josh. Yes, pressing your mic button is a really good way to start your stream. And it's not like I do that pretty much every time I start. So, very small admin-y bits before we get started. We as a group, we respect everybody in terms of, and we want everyone to feel welcome here. And we want to create a space that is welcome for people regardless of their race, gender, sexuality, or physical ability. We would just ask you to be nice and kind to each other out there and just help us create that space. Secondly, we are allegedly adults. As such, we use adult language, so you may occasionally hear the swears. Please forgive us, it will just slip out. But we just want to let you know up front in case you've got any smalls who are likely to copy, usually Wayne first. Or me, let's be fair. Finally, we use homebrew rules. I think a lot of tables do. I will probably more likely just explain the rules as we come across them, because I think most of the players will probably want reminding on them as we come up to them. Also, if we're ever in doubt, we use the rule of cool, because it's more fun to tell a story than to fight through a book every 5 minutes. So that's pretty much it. So, with that out of the way, I would like to introduce you to my wonderful cast. And I will start with Charlie. If you could just let us know a little bit about you, who you're playing, and you.
Cool. I am Charlie. I am also an illustrator. I work out of a studio here in Norwich. I am going to be playing Aisling, who is a satyr and a warlock and has a complex relationship with another being, which you will find out more about. She's not got the best social cues out there, but she's pretty adorable, and I'm really, really enjoying having her. So that's me, and that's Aisling.
Amazing, thank you. Next, Theo, if you'd like to introduce yourself and your character, please.
Hello, I'm Theo. I'm also an illustrator. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Eugene, who is a half-elf awkward wizard.
Those are the best types of wizards, I think.
Aren't they all awkward?
Yeah, exactly.
Spend most of your time with books, so.
Brilliant. Thank you, Theo. And last but never least, Wayne, if you'd like to introduce yourself and your character, please.
Excuse me. Hi, everybody. I am Wayne. I am not an illustrator, but I am an art director and a branding coach. And I am playing Roc, who is a dragonborn and a somewhat flamboyant character who is bound to be a little confused most of the time. So, as you can tell, we're all a very together party.
Which is exactly how I wanted it, to be fair. When I gave them the description, I was just like, don't go for superheroes, just play something fun. And they delivered in spades. If you can hear kids in the background, we're really sorry. We've tried to shut them out, but they're very loud. And they're having fun, so we're not going to stop them, so because we're having fun as well. So
And just to clarify, they're not our kids.
It sounds like you've got kids like locked in another bedroom.
We've shut them out. They're in the garden. They'll be fine. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
They've got food and water. They'll be fine.
We've shut the window and
Yeah,
they're in
they'll be
someone
alright.
else's garden, just to be
Yeah.
clear.
I explained that so good.
We've
Excellent.
shut them out, but it's all right.
No children were harmed in the filming of this live play.
Yet.
don't know how it's going to go yet. So
I make no promises.
yeah. Awesome. So, if there is nothing else from my players, I will begin. Cool. Let's just start with... so, what we'll do is we're going to do a little bit of an intro and then we will dive into the game properly. The city-state of Clouds Cairn is a small but fiercely independent set of floating islands north of the Three Nations. It forms part of a long stretch of sky that buffers between the Sky Nation of Daklan and the might of the Mystrium Empire. Because of how far north it floats, it's remained largely unaffected and separate from the fraught politics of its neighbours. It has no real strategic, material or political value that any of the three great nations can see, and so it's largely remained untouched by their politics and warring. Despite this, though, the city has always been held up as a place of self-sufficiency. A relatively small population, readily available water and arable land has allowed the city and its satellites to thrive, even become well respected through trading with its neighbours. And with a population who have spare coins and work to go around, it is a favoured place for young adventurers and older adventurers to find honest commissions and a place to stay for a while. The city itself is an architectural oddity. The people of Clouds Cairn come from many backgrounds. As the city has expanded, it has become a colourful celebration of the cultures and traditions of those people who call it home. Bright, gnomish burrows can be found nestled beneath Orcish treehouse. The practical and elegant stonework of dwarfs next to the kaleidoscope of colours and materials preferred by Tabaxian humans. Every voice is found here. Even the Fae and Elves, often pushed to the edge of society for the transgressions of their ancestors, find Clouds Cairn a more welcoming place. And though there are still Fae conclaves, they are places of celebration rather than separation. Adventurers are a common sight, and the Adventurers Guild has become a respected establishment within the city itself, and with several branches, both within its walls and the islands beyond. Arguably, the most famous of these is housed down Artifact Lane, a ramshackle street running between Sky Landing and the Merchant's Favour. Should you find yourself on the street, you will easily spot a large restored inn with a beautifully ornate painted sign that says, "The Ogre's Rest." Its proprietor is a big attraction. Murrog is a boisterous, friendly, one-eyed ogre who won a name for himself as a sellsword and wished to create a place where he could provide guidance and support for those who wished to do the same. This fatherly ogre is not alone in his enterprise, however. His adopted daughter, Neve, runs the tap room and the inn itself. Despite being only 16 summers, she does so with a fierce determination and a very sharp wit, which has even the burliest of barbarians thinking twice before crossing her. Then there's Dietrich, Murrog's oldest friend, and the guild's account and contracts master. This sharp-eyed older goblin is often the first port of call for many adventurers and negotiates some of the fairest contracts in the region. Presently, we find him sat at one of the taproom tables, deep in discussion with a tall, white, scaled dragonborn. Wayne, could you please introduce us to Roc?
Sure. Roc, as I said, is a dragonborn. He is a white-skinned dragonborn with white scales and has bright green eyes. He has two horns that sweep back from his head, one of which has been broken, the other of which has a small gold band around it, a decorative band with a small gold gem in it. He wears a large, almost like a swashbuckler's coat, and he has a rapier at his side and an intricately decorated gold scarf flung dramatically across his shoulders. And he is sitting with his white hair, almost like dreadlocks, pulled back, stroking his small white goatee as he talks to the proprietors.
The small goblin pushes a small envelope across the table to you. If you do this, we can guarantee some compensation, obviously. Basically, one of our regulars has a friend coming to town, and he can't be here to meet them, so he just needs someone to make sure that they are safe, make their way here okay, and get settled in. We will provide you a week's of lodgings for free.
Well, that sounds acceptable. Who exactly is this friend coming to town?
You are looking for a young half-elf named Eugene Appleby.
Eugene Appleby. Huh. An adventurer?
An aspiring adventurer, I believe, from what our friend said. If you introduce yourself, say that her Uncle Perb sent you.
Uncle Perb.
And I think, I don't want to make you roll that, but I think you have seen Perb around. He is a small, older gnome, a bit of a wizard, and quite well liked around the tavern. He whisks in and out and has a lot of conversations with Marok about different things, and then just comes and goes as he feels.
Where am I to meet this Eugene?
They're coming on a ship coming out of the Twins. I'm not entirely certain which ones are coming in. But once you get down to the docks, if you have a look around, they'll be able to tell you which ones are arriving from that area, providing they messaged ahead, of course. Yes, should be easy enough. Yes. And, oh, yes, actually, there is one other thing you can do for me on the basis of this. There is a young adventurer coming in from Ladywell Farmsteads, a satyr, of all things.
Oh?
Yes, keep your eye out for them. If you do see them wandering around the docks, grab them and point them in the right direction. We had a message just saying that they have a tendency to occasionally get quite distracted. We just want to make sure we're signing them up as quickly as we can before they disappear into the city.
Very well. Are they aware that they will be meeting me at the dockside?
Absolutely not, so you'll need to keep your wits about you.
Very well. And a week's lodging, you say, will be added to my tab?
That will, yes, obviously. Normal cost for food and the like. You kind of see him look towards Neve just to make sure she's okay with this, because obviously she runs the money side of the tavern itself, and she's glowering at you, but there's a kind of a fine, I will allow this a moment.
I just make eye contact with her, and as soon as I see her glowering, I'll just kind of quickly avert my eyes.
Yeah, I don't think you've crossed Neve yet, but you have seen her literally talk down like orcs and Goliaths and very big humans.
I'm ever so slightly scared of her.
So yes. Would you like to do anything before we head down to the docks?
No, I shall simply finish whatever I am currently taking part in drinks-wise or food-wise, and then I shall slowly make my way out the Ogre's Rest down towards the docks. But I shall stroll down, just kind of making my way calmly down.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no problem at all.
Chris, could you make your mic a little bit louder? Ever so slightly.
Is that better for everyone?
Could be.
Could be.
We can try.
You can make your way out into the city at large. You are a little bit more experienced with Clouds Cairn as a city. So you've had a little bit of an adventure around here already, so you know your way around, particularly Sky's Landing and the Merchant Favour, which is where you currently are residing. Is there anywhere you want to go particularly, or you just want to go straight there?
No, I shall go straight there. However, in true form, Roc will will walk along, basically doffing his cap and kind of acknowledging people as he goes, as if he knows everybody, even though most of them have no idea who he is. So kind of waving at people as if he's an absolute celebrity, despite the fact that nobody has a clue. So it will take him a little while to get down to the docks as he sort of smiles and walks his way down.
Excellent. And there's a few people who kind of give you a nod. Some people give you a funny look. A couple of people who just cross the road because, you are still a Dragonborn, and although, they're very welcome here, you're quite scary to look at sometimes. If people are not used to you.
How very dare you.
Humans, they're odd.
Rude.
There is a moment with a small halfling child where they follow you for about a block before you kind of have to try and lose them because they're just absolutely fascinated by you.
Before they disappear, I shall just use Mage Hand and just tickle them on their neck as they're looking at me, and then I'll just give them a wink and walk away.
I love it. Excellent. Yeah, they giggle and then they kind of look for the person that tickled them, and that's the point I guess you kind of step out of the way. So you make your way down to the docks. Sky's Landing is an airship landing as well as a bit of a proper dock as well. So it has multiple tiers, of which you can see skyships, both of the mechanical and the arcane variety, stashed up multiple different sizes, from small individual models to slightly bigger frigates and the like as well. They also seem to come from very different places as well. You can actually see a couple from Mistrium, some from Daklang, some from the other nation. There's actually one that's flying the elven colours of New Dan. So there's lots of different things in place. And below them are regular ships, or as we would understand them, regular ships at any rate, water boats. They are buoyant and things like that, and they're used by fishermen and things like that, because actually out of Clouds Cairn, apart from being the mouth to the edge of the island, is a huge lake, which kind of makes up the last. Clouds Cairn is unique in as much as it gets its name from the fact that it is actually a little bit of a basin, with which there is a huge mesa-like mountain which generates more water than it should do. Archivists who have looked into the mountain itself have found that there's an abundance of water crystals and possibly even a link to the plane of water there. So courtesy of, Clouds Cairn is a very rich in terms of being out, this is where a lot of its self-sufficiency comes from. Literally the water just pours off the edge, but more comes. So just keep
fair enough.
And it's never run out, and Clouds Cairn's been here for about 300 years now.
That's kind of handy. Where did you say the ship that I'm awaiting is coming from?
It is coming from, you're looking for one from the Twins.
From the Twins.
And possibly one from Ladywell Farmsteads.
Got it. Okay.
And it's a bustling area. There's lots of people pushing back and forth, and lots of different races, mostly humans. You see more than elves than you have seen in a lot of your travel here, and they seem very relaxed, and there's open conversation as opposed to some hostility which you've seen in other places. Several other Dragonborn, even kobolds trying to sell fish on the dockside as well, a batch of them, 3 of them standing on each other's shoulders to try and get eye to eye with some of the bigger patrons as they go past.
Oh, I know what they're going for. I'm keeping an eye on that.
So
I shall push my way through. I would just generally make my way through, probably avoiding any large groups of other Dragonborns coming off ships, particularly from the Mistrium Empire.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I shall just make my way to where most of the ships are coming in.
You can see where a lot of you kind of go up a landing side, and if you want to, you can talk to some of the dock hands and see if you can.
Is there anyone who looks like they have, A clipboard, that's always a sign, right? Is there someone with a clipboard? Because that indicates they know what's going on, surely.
Yes, there's a female dwarf with just a little bit of a whisker coming through. She has like dark skin and she's wearing like quite an official looking cloak with the symbol of Clouds Cairn, which is the mountain with water dripping down it on
That'll
her badge.
do.
Yeah.
I shall go up to excuse me. Excuse me.
What do you bloody want? Hello.
Let's
Get that death out of me.
I'm so sorry if I scared you. I'm looking for a ship that's coming in from the Twins, I believe. Could you point me in the right direction?
One moment. She turns around and she grabs a clipboard and she starts...
See, clipboard, told you.
Well, we've had one radio ahead. It's a bit late, but we're expecting the Swallow's Envy, which wasn't originally coming from there, but that it's now. Apparently had to stop off there for repairs. I don't know if that is what you're looking for. There was another ship, but it had an accident, and it had to dry dock on one of the islands.
Oh, well, I do hope it's not that one. So where would I find the Swallow's Envy?
It should be arriving at Dock 5.
Dock 5.
Probably, we hope, within the hour. So you might want to grab a coffee and make yourself comfortable.
Very well, I shall. And I shall wander my way through, sort of pushing my way through the crowds of people, trying very much not to get myself involved in any of the hustle and bustle.
Amazing. And I think we're going to take that opportunity to move ourselves across to the Swallow's Envy. A large and arcane skyship with a blue crystal and some beautiful machinery running through it. Presently, it's a little more laden than it would be, having had to stop off at the Twins for repairs following a strange incident on board. Most of the crew are busy still trying to patch a few things up, but they have managed to get her skyworthy in the meantime. On deck, there is the most colourful collection of characters you have ever seen. A small family of humans, the children of which are running around like absolute lunatics, each of which telling the other that they are a skyship or a dragon or something, and chasing the other one down. Next to the rails is a older looking turtle with a large broadsword strapped across their back, leaning in, just sniffing the wind. Sitting next to him is a unusual looking satyr. Charlie, could you describe Aisling for us?
Yeah, so Aisling is quite olive skinned. She's got two small little horns at the front, paired with two larger, curlier ones behind them. She's got big turquoise hair. I'm not projecting at all with that one. She's got like an explorer's shirt on, some big purple shorts, and some very, very fluffy legs. And she's got lots of turquoise body hair as well.
Amazing. What is Aisling doing right at this moment?
I feel like she's telling a very animated, energetic, loud story to her turtle friend.
Yeah, and Orhem is just nodding, as they have been pretty much probably for the best part of the last hour. You're not entirely certain.
Yeah,
but... if
the turtle's conscious, then Aisling's telling them a story.
That's fair enough. And this is one of those weird things, and some of the reasons that the two of you seem to have struck up this friendship on your journey, is that Orhem seems to have this infinite patience that never seems to wear out. Whereas by now, anybody else would have just gone, Aisling, stop. But not Orhem. Orhem is still eagerly listening, patiently nodding, and taking it all in. Across from the two of them is another strange party of people. A female tabaxi in leather armour, with several sharp blades pointing out from different scabbards, is leaning lazily against the opposite rail, watching the turtle and the satyr. With them is a large, very well-built figure who is pulled their cloak so far over them that you can't clearly make out who they are, but you can see what looks like heavy armour underneath. And a third figure. Theo, could you please describe Eugene to us?
Yes. Eugene is a tall, fairly unassuming half-elf. He has sort of lilac skin with patches of white skin on his face and arms. He has kind of bright orange, messy, curly hair, and he loves wearing purple. He's probably nose in a book right now.
Excellent. And I think Zabia, your tabaxi companion, every once in a while just leans over and then tuts and then finds a way to annoy you to try and stop you from reading and pay attention to them.
Yeah, there's no stopping Eugene reading a book.
Will you pay attention? You have the whole sky ahead of you and your nose in a book. This is not good.
Yeah, I've read a lot of books about skies.
She just very gently, not unkindly, but she just grabs the top of your head and turns you around, and you can see the sky before you, like, in the sort of thing. And it is, I don't know, I mean, how does Eugene respond to kind of seeing, like, actually seeing the sky properly, as opposed from just over the edge of their island where they grew up?
I think he's very fascinated. And he kind of tells her, yeah, okay, maybe you have a point. This is pretty cool.
And she smiles and leans. She goes, I always have a point. Have you not learned this, young one? And she
yeah, you've got lots of points.
She just points one of her taloned fingers down. Look closely down there. And you just make out a ripple, like a pearlescent ripple. Have you ever seen the sky shield before?
No, what is it?
It protects us from the land below and stops what bad things are down there from coming up here. It's very old. But it's
so
also
shiny.
Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. Very powerful arcane magics, and she nudges you. Thought you might be interested in that more than your books.
He gets out another book. But this is like a notebook, and he starts like writing down the details.
At this point, she throws up her hands and walks away. Girls, you deal with him. I'm done. And goes. You just hear a chuckle from your larger companion. So, Aisling, you would have seen these three picked up when you guys had to stop for about 4 hours for repairs at the Twins. They came on board very shortly after you arrived, as soon as it was safe and to do so. And I don't know, they seem to be a curious bunch. How does Aisling sort of view that, these new people?
I think it's in excitedly, like most things.
Yeah.
She's sort of pretty excited at the prospect of new people, and she keeps, every time Eugene gets a book out, she's going like this to try and read what it is and try and see what Eugene's reading.
Excellent. I think that's probably a thing. Has Eugene even paid attention to the fact there is a satyr on board, and they are very rare?
Yes, I think he's very interested, and he's doing that awkward thing where like he's looking at Aisling, and then every time Aisling looks at him, he's like looking away, like really obviously.
And Aisling would have been like, "Hi."
I think about the third time this happens, Eugene, you probably feel a very gentle push at your back as Ghost just goes, "Why don't you go and talk to them?"
I mean, okay, I can do this, right?
Yes.
That's normal. I can go say hi. That's normal, right?
You're a mighty adventurer now. You can do this.
That's true. I am a mighty adventurer. And he like kind of steals himself and walks over. Hi, I'm Eugene.
Oh my god! Hi. What is that one? What is that one that you were reading? Because I was watching you for ages and I couldn't quite work out what it is. What is it?
Oh, this is a brief history of magic, and he pulls it out, and it's massive. It's like this.
Have you read it all?
I mean, only twice, but there's still some nuances that I could pick up on. So I have to ask, are you a satyr?
She looks down at her legs. Yeah.
I've never seen one before. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
read about them, but I've never seen one before.
Yeah, there's not many of us up here for some reason. There's not many of us up here. So yeah, no, it's and you, the pointy. I'm guessing like an elf, like a half elf,
Yeah, I'm
right?
half technically. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks. I grew him myself.
There's a gentle chuckle as this huge shell just kind of slowly turns and looks at you. Hello, I am Orion.
This is... Yeah, there you go.
Hi, I'm Eugene. Nice to meet you.
It is lovely to meet you too.
I've never met a turtle before.
Oh, is that what I am? And it's got this awkward moment, and then he just chuckles.
How old are you? Is that rude to ask?
Classic Orion.
No, not for me. I am 400 years old.
Wow. I bet you've read a lot of books in that time.
No.
What do you mean? What were you doing?
I was out seeing the world.
Okay.
It just smiles and chuckles.
Each their own, I guess.
I am going to rest for an hour before we arrive, for I have a lot to do in Clouds Cairn. I will leave you younglings to your talk, and wanders off.
Don't disappear too far because we've got to hang out again.
There's a gentle wave as he steps away.
Finally,
So you're going to Clouds
into the
Cairn
peace
too?
and quiet. Yeah. I got told that I should probably like come here and do some more things because I've run out of things to do on my other island. So I should come here and find more things. I think I got a vibe that maybe they wanted me to go pretty quickly, but it's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna skim over that. I'm going to Clouds Cairn because I'm going to join the Adventurers Guild. It's my first day as an adventurer.
That's the one they said I should have a look at. Okay, good. I'm glad you remembered because I've got no idea what I'm doing.
We could go together.
That's probably a good idea.
Awesome. And with that, I think with that acknowledgement that the two of you are going to be together, you actually hear the captain call out, "Land is ho. Step lively. Make sure you're not in the way. In other words, get below deck so we can do our jobs." And then kind of you get ushered by some of the crew to go below deck for a little bit. You can still see out some of the port windows and things, and as you come close you can see, as the clouds clear, a large city just on the edge of the biggest island either of you have ever seen. Like, this is, I mean, Aisling, you grew up near New Doan, and this dwarfs that place. This is like, for us, it's probably about the equivalent of Ireland in terms of its size. This sort of mass. But there's only one sort of place that they're heading to where you can see the city and it's this huge mountain behind it and this stream coming down and running through the city itself. And you can see small ships coming, and as you get closer you can see ramshackle buildings, beautiful, elegantly designed, climbing on top of one another, and all the way back there is almost like layers to the city as it goes further back, and you can see farms on the outside. As you get closer, you actually see an Aarakocra like fly past, busy on his way with a message bag, which is clearly off to one of the other islands. You see giant eagles and giant owls nestled in some of the rafters. And you slowly come down into a very solid looking dock, and you are welcomed back up onto the surface, and you are encouraged to disembark. And you and your friends make your way to the front. Roc, it's been about an hour, and you're probably getting a bit bored by now, and then a very elegant looking ship with like soft blue paint along the sides and like quite smart silk sky sails comes in, and you clearly see as it gets closer the Swallow's Envy along the side. And the ship goes through its docking procedure and settles down into place, and people start to disembark. First off comes two children with their mothers behind them, shouting for them to calm down and slow down before they injure themselves. Followed by a very snooty looking human in very posh clothes who's just already giving the crew jip about his materials and making sure that they're just perfectly placed. Do not drop that. That is valuable. And he steps off after that. What comes afterwards is a larger group of people, which seems to be like quite a disparate looking group. And you see this tall person who's clearly heavily armed, followed down by a very scraggly looking big-eared tabaxi, who seems to have more daggers than they have fingers. And they are followed by the two figures, Aisling and Eugene, and a large turtle wandering calmly just behind them.
I think before the ship disembarked, I think Roc would have taken his place at the front to greet them, and then very quickly realized that he had no idea how he was going to identify them or attract attention. So Roc runs back to the dwarf that had helped him and said, "I'm sorry. Excuse me.
What is it now?
Could I borrow just a piece of paper, if you don't mind? Just a piece of paper? Just one piece of paper. That'd be wonderful. Thank you. Just a piece of paper.
1 copper.
For a piece of paper?
I'm running a business here.
Oh, fine. And he'll hand over a copper, grab the sheet of paper, and then very quickly on it we'll write Eugene on it.
Amazing.
And then push his way to the front, and then stand there, sort of trying to look quite sort of composed and quite regal, while also looking like a cab driver picking somebody up.
Well, I think it's about time we had our first roll of the day. Do you want to do a performance check for me to see how composed Anne is?
Sure. Oh, 22.
A 22? Wow. I mean, this very poised Dragonborn is standing at the end of the gangplank as the two of you come further down. Beautiful long coat with green insides, white scales. Looks quite majestic, holding up in front of him, but not almost casually, a sign saying Eugene.
I'm pulling on Eugene's sleeve, like, oh, I can read that.
That guy has a note with my name on it. That seems suspect.
Is it?
Yeah?
I mean, they look pretty fancy. I reckon we'll be alright.
Are you sure? Is that normal?
Yeah. It's fine. I'm already walking towards him.
You gently hear Ghost's voice, as you always, as you've come accustomed to, just sort of say, "I think the best thing to do is go and have a chat with him."
I agree.
Okay.
Don't
She says
worry,
out loud.
we won't wander off until we know you're safe. Use that be a sigh and roll her eyes.
Okay, Eugene will tentatively approach following Aisling. Excuse me. That's me. That's my name on the paper. That's hello.
Hello. I am afraid there must be some mistake. I am here waiting for an adventurer. An adventurer is coming across. It must be a confusion.
I'm an adventurer. It's my first day.
Oh. And I'm just going to, I think, clock that the satyr is behind, so it is clearly the same people. And I will just go, oh, well, aren't you two very, young? Right. Well, I am Roc. I am an adventurer here, and I have been asked to escort you to the Adventurers Guild. It's a very big city. I think it's best that you are with someone who is experienced in these things, obviously. Do come along.
Okay.
Ooh,
Eugene,
okay.
you were actually expecting your Uncle Perb to pick you up.
I was expecting to be picked up by someone else. Did my uncle send you?
Oh, you mean Perb?
Yeah.
I'm afraid that he is unable to meet you today, but the Adventurers Guild asked me to come in his stead. I'm afraid I don't know what has otherwise occupied him, but I'm sure it's very important.
Well, that must be important.
It must be. So come along. Okay. Have you got your stuff? Things, adventuring gear?
I've got books.
Yeah, he's got like 4,000 books.
Oh. Well, I'm sure those will come in most handy against swords and monsters. Right, come along then. Let's make our way.
Are you guys going to follow him straight away, or you kind of notice that
Yeah,
your friends are kind of
Ash-
like sorting their stuff out?
Ashling's going to follow straight away and be like, hey, he read that big one twice, right? Twice.
Oh, how very interesting. Eugene, are you coming?
Can I just say goodbye to my friends? I made friends.
Yes,
Can I say goodbye to them?
Of course. Quickly.
You turn back and Ghost and Zabia are there. And Orihim is sort of like is actually having a conversation with them as you approach as well, and they all stop and look at you, and Orihim and Zabia smile, and Ghost leans forward. I believe it's customary for people like you to hug to say goodbye. Is that acceptable?
Yeah. Let's hug. Let's hug it out.
And he wraps his big arms around you and just gives you a gentle squeeze. Careful not to push you into his plate mail too much.
Aww.
It is likely I will not meet you again, Eugene, but should you meet my replacement, please be kind to them as you have been to me.
Of course. And thank you, both of you, for your help in getting me here.
Well, you owe me a drink sometime, you're buying. And she just gives you a poke and then just reaches up and ruffles your hair. You're right, kid. I like you. Orihim just waves gently. Tell Aisling I'll see her again sometime. She has her own.
No, I'm gonna pop up over Eugene's shoulder, like, ah! You can't escape me that easy. Bye.
He gives you a big hug. Take good care, and we will see you again soon.
Yeah, better do.
And with that, they head off, all three of them together, in a different direction. Leaving you with this white dragonborn.
Right, shall we?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Very good. To the Adventurers Guild, and I shall throw my scarf over my shoulder and walk ahead, just streaming ahead, waiting for them to just follow me, basically.
Amazing.
He's quite dramatic, isn't he? I'm going to whisper that.
I love it. So like every time Roc does anything, I'm going to pull in Eugene's sleeve again and be like, oh!
Have either Aisling or Eugene met a dragonborn before? So
Nope.
this is all very exciting and new to them. Excellent. So, what do you guys know about dragonborn? This is the question. Do you know about them from stories, or?
I think Eugene would know a lot about them from books, but yeah, he's never met one in reality.
I think Aisling knows of them, so she's not like, oh my god, it's a dragon. But she's definitely doesn't know anywhere near as much as Eugene does.
That's fair enough. I think probably Eugene's is more about biology and behavioural patterns and their and then their lineage and where they come from and where they live and even things like their favoured temperament and temperature and stuff like that. Nothing actually useful for dealing with a Dragonborn. Just facts. Just facts.
Yeah, and he will tell you about them
as you go. Yeah, I think probably Roc can hear them having this quiet discussion behind him.
He's not going to say anything. He shall just carry on walking.
So my question to Roc is, do you take them straight back to Artifact Lane, or do you make your way through any of the exciting parts of the city to show them?
I would definitely take them through anywhere that I know well.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wouldn't take them anywhere rough. I'm not risking anything like that. But I would take them through areas I know or past any shops that I am well acquainted with the intention of making sure that I greet people and that they know me so that they get the impression that I'm very well known in the city.
I will have a deception check from you, sir.
Deception.
And a perception off of you two, or an insight if you prefer.
A natural 20 for a 25.
I got a natural 22.
So
I got
that's
a 4.
interesting.
Sorry.
A 4. Actually, everything he's saying, this guy is super popular. Like everyone clearly knows him. He must be a great adventurer if he's this popular.
It's true.
Roc, with your modifier, what is your
25?
25, and Eugene, your perception with your modifier?
23.
23. Eugene, you're not quite as easily fooled. He does seem to know a lot of people, but you definitely feel like there's a bit of an act. It's like you can't quite place it, but there's something not quite there. But he does seem to at least know a lot of people. It's a bit of a weird one, that. That's how I'm going to balance off the fact you both got a natural 20 at the same time. That's amazing.
Fair enough. Right, well, apart from that, I shall just take them to the back to the Ogre's Rest by a fairly direct route. So I'm not going to do anything too odd with them taking them back.
Very nice. And you guys, he does take you a bit of an indirect way, and I think, does Roc tell them what he's doing? Does he explain that he's giving them a scenic look around?
Oh, no.
No?
No, not at all.
I think Aisling particularly has quite a good sense of direction, so I think you're like, hang on, logically that would have been a shorter route to do. But he does take you past some really interesting things, like there's some beautiful taverns, like a whole street of like people selling things off of carts and stands and things like that. He takes you around a beautiful open promenade alongside a river where there are hawkers selling their wares at different places. And jugglers and all sorts of entertainers and things like that. And so at this point, there's a particular merchant who waves Roc over and grabs him and goes, "Thank you for the other day. You have made me so much money. Here, wait 1 second." Reaches down and pulls out a small pouch. Here you go. I can't give you money because, profits and stuff like that, but I have a couple of spare of these and they might be useful for you in the future. And presses a small satchel with 2 healing potions in it.
Oh, that's very kind of you. That's very kind. My performances do tend to attract a great deal of attention. So, but I thank you very much.
They're still talking about it. So if you ever want to,
of course they are.
Come down and do that again. You are very welcome.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Unfortunately, I'm very busy with adventuring right now. So, but yes. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And I'll just turn around, make sure that they saw me get that from him, and just go, adventuring, and I shall put the 2 healing potions away and continue along to the Adventurers Guild.
my god, he's so cool.
What healing potions were they, Chris?
Just standard healing potions. Guy's not made of money.
I am just going to be right back. 1 second.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fine.
I'm just adding these to my inventory because otherwise I just won't remember.
Nope.
So Roc leads you.
And Aisling is so impressed.
Potion of healing. There we go. Okay.
So you are led. After this, he leads you down a much more cramped street, which is clearly lettered Artifact. Artifact Lane. And
Wait a minute. You've just given us 2 healing potions. Is that like a video game where I now have to worry that we're about to encounter something that's going to require?
Oh no! Did
Boss
we
fight.
quick save?
A dragon
Just
attacks.
checking.
A dragon attacks. Roll for initiative. No, no, it's fine.
Ah!
Where's the save point? Where's the save point?
It may
Yeah,
be
we
Chris.
find a bonfire.
It may be Chris kind of looking at it, going and going, you don't have a technical healer, so just in case. And you guys and.
What?
So we did. So whilst we wait for Thea to get back, we actually did some one-to-ones to introduce the characters, give them a feel for how they're playing, and just give everyone a chance to sort of really sort of stretch their legs and things like that beforehand. Each of the characters had a couple of really good moments, and you get an opportunity later to see those in person. But something Roc did resulted in that exchange, basically. So
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, you can watch them. I'll show them later. But cool. So you are now at the face of this much narrower street. It's still very busy, people coming and going, and you are noticing a lot more people with things like weapons and equipment and that coming and going from here as well. You have seen on your way several Dragonborn, lots of more elves actually, Eugene, than you have probably seen in your life. I would imagine, and you, Aisling. Aisling, because you've seen the city of elves, so this is fine. What you do both notice is that there is a lot of cohabitation. There isn't any sort of real friction, which you've seen other places or you've heard about in other places. And go. I mean, Eugene, you grew up in quite a small community, but although you had no problems growing up and the community just treated you like normal, some of the strangers who came to the community occasionally would give you funny looks. Nothing was ever said, just you were aware growing up. And Aisling, you've been warned growing up, be careful who you talk to. But here, everything seems quite comfortable. Roc nods to a couple of adventurers, one of whom just holds up a tankard that he's clearly taken from an inn and goes, I'm off again.
Well, and good adventuring.
And the human cleric behind him goes, and this time he's going to come back with all his fingers.
Under his breath, Roc's just going to say, I very much doubt it. And then I'm going to throw the door open and take my two guests into the tavern.
Yeah. So the tavern in question that Roc has just stepped into, it looks like it has been rebuilt recently. The building around it is much older, but the front is beautiful wooden paneling, some like bright coloured like flagging and like decoration all along it, and in a big sign it says The Ogre's Rest. And underneath it says Adventurers Guild.
I shall march straight up to the bar again, just assuming they're following directly behind me.
I don't know. Are you guys following in, or are you?
Yes, I'm following quite closely because there's lots of people around, and I think Eugene is a bit overwhelmed, so he's staying quite close to Roc, I think.
I'm following, but I'm not looking where I'm going at all.
I think it's.
I'm looking at everything else.
That is no problem at all. I think it's safe to say that the two of you haven't really been to somewhere quite this big and busy before. I think Eugene particularly, like, this is the most people you've seen in one place, and Yeah, that sounds like a very natural reaction to me.
Who is behind the bar?
Who do you think?
Is it Neve?
Always Neve.
Okay. I am going to, kind of swept up in the performance, I am going to head towards the bar, and far more familiar than I usually am, I'm going to say, Neve, how lovely to see you.
She quirks an eyebrow with you, and you get this kind of slight chill in your neck. He's like, "Oh, I crossed the line."
It's at that point when he realizes just who he's talking to, and kind of goes, "Is Dietrich around? If you don't mind, if you'd be so kind."
She kind of shouts over to one of the bar hops, and just like, Get Dietrich, will you? And Roc, just sit down, stop flouncing, and just kind of turns around, like fixes you a drink. For Aisling and Eugene, the bar is busy. Like it's there are people all over the place, just kind of sitting and chatting. Lots of people in different adventuring gear and the like as well. In the corner, dozing in a huge armchair, is the biggest man you have ever seen, with a wonderfully round gut and what looks like was at one point quite strong musculature. I think I'm going to get a nature check off of both of you, because I don't think you would have met someone like this before.
Okay. 17 for Aisling.
16.
I think you both recognise an ogre when you see one, and he's very well dressed. He's wearing a shirt and like pantaloons and things like that. Has a big red sash around his waist and a waistcoat and a pair of spectacles just nestled lazily on the nose. And he's just down and snoring, and everyone just seems to be stepping around him, but not in a frightened sort of way, just in that don't wake him up sort of way.
Do I see them looking at him?
Probably. Also behind the bar is a very young human girl, but she seems to command some sort of respect. And you, by the way that Roc behaved when he can step in, you kind of get the impression that she might be in charge.
I will just, when I see them look at the ogre, I'm just going to lean down and kind of say, "That's Marog. Marog, in fact, owns this entire tavern. Yes, quite an adventurer."
Oh, he's the resting ogre?
Roc's going to literally pause, and then the penny will suddenly drop, and just go, "Yes, I guess he is." Well, isn't that so? Yes, that would be the ogre.
God, you're so smart, Eugene.
Yeah. Well, anyway, and I'm going to just get a couple of bar stools and sort of move them up so that Aisling and Eugene can sit nearby, sort of make sure they've got some space, and kind of edge somebody over to make space for them and say, I do have a seat.
The young lady is kind of busy down the side, and a human male comes along and goes, "First, you're the new assignees, yes? First drinks on the house, no problem, get you relaxed in. What would you like?"
A minty tea, please.
Minty tea, we can do that, yes. And for you?
I don't know, what's customary?
He kind of looks a bit uncomfortable, like he's not supposed to give suggestions. Like, do you drink alcohol? Or do you don't drink alcohol? I mean, we can do everything from.
I mean, I've never drunk alcohol, but that doesn't mean I don't.
How about like a fresh wine, like to kind of.
Roc is going to just intercede. I'm seeing an opportunity to show off again, and just going to say, wait. We'll have a round of Dragon's Fire.
Dragon's Fire?
You might know it as Cobalt Spit. It's an old thing.
That sounds
just
horrible.
bring us one of those each.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's very, very, very traditional here.
I'll need to check that, but a particular one with Neve, that's a little on the pricey side, but yeah, okay, no problem. And he kind of wanders over, and you kind of see her. What? And then she kind of looks over and she goes, and she gives you, Roc, a scowl. Like you are.
I am going to beam at her in my friendliest kind of like, I love you way.
And she goes, fine. And you kind of hear, only because it's Perb's nephew. And kind of wanders back. And she goes, but only one. And make sure you give them water with it.
Yeah.
So the barman leans into a glass cabinet, pulls out a decanter which has an iridescent liquid in it. That depending on which way it moves, the colour of it seems to shift almost completely from reds to blues to greens. And he pulls it out. And each time he pulls it out, it is a slightly different colour. And it sparkles deeply inside. Holds off before you guys reach to it. And then kind of pulls the back of the label back and says something very clumsily in Draconic, and all three glasses just go poof, poof, poof. Briefly.
Wow.
It's safe to drink now.
I shall grab my glass and I shall look at both of them and say, to new adventures.
Cheers.
Yeah. All right.
I think Eugene's going to thoroughly inspect it and smell it. And inspect it again. And then look around at everyone else. And then drink.
Roc's going to knock it back straight away.
Awesome.
So is Aisling.
I'm not going to make you roll for Constitution.
Oh, okay.
It is very strong, and I think the two of you immediately feel it hitting you. It tastes lovely. It's really sort of kind of crisp, but fruity. And goes down very easily.
Is it like warm on the way down?
Yeah,
like
you kind of feel the inside of you warm.
Yeah.
Warm. That's a good... Warm is perhaps an understatement, I feel.
Yeah. You actually do feel like you could breathe fire.
Wow.
Oh. I feel like Aisling does that thing that Buffy does when she drinks alcohol and just goes, ah.
That seems like something Ashley would do.
I think Eugene makes a face, but then he slams the glass down on the table and he's like, I could drink another one.
Well, you have to pay for the second one, and they're 5 gold apiece, so...
Oh, you must keep your wits about you. Must be.
But maybe celebration after your first mission. And he kind of goes back to working and stuff like that. It is about this time that you guys see a very smartly dressed goblin in a sort of a blue tabard with like an official looking jacket over the top that kind of just comes above his knees, strides into there. He's got a ledger like clutched against him that's nearly as big as he is, and he stands probably about 4 foot tall, I would say. And he kind of saunters in, and he's like a big green skinned, yellow eyed, and has very neat teeth for a goblin. And sort of looks at the three of you and smiles and goes, well done, Roc. That was quicker than I thought it would be. And he kind of saunters up. He goes,
Cool.
I am Dietrich, and holds out his hands, and you must be Eugene. Directly to Eugene, shakes your hand. And you must be Aisling.
Yeah.
Well done. Excellent. Come with me. I'm going to have to go through some paperwork with you. Just make sure you're all signed up and ready to adventure. And then I think I have something that you might want to be interested in.
Before he takes them away, can I just grab him and pull him aside slightly, Dietrich?
Paul, yeah, he'd let you do that.
I'm just going to bend down and say, Eugene was asking about his Uncle Perb.
Oh, yes, of course. Right, all to that. Understand slight confusion, Eugene. Sorry, completely forgot. I will cover that in a minute if you'll be patient with me.
Okay.
Yeah. And Roc, you must as well come along as well. This might be of interest to you.
Okay, very well. I'll follow them.
So he takes you through, like under some stairs which seem to go up to an inn. Nods to a clerk who's sitting just behind there a little bit, and just to a private room, like a little more like a booth off the side of the main thoroughfare, to be fair, which there's a little table set up, and you can see that there's a shelf of ledgers and books there. And he goes, please, take a seat. It's not technically an office, but it's where I work. It's easier to keep an ear out for things from here than be shutting away in a room somewhere. Please, take a seat. And he has 4 comfortable-looking chairs in there at the moment.
I shall remain standing.
Aisling sits down.
Yeah, he plonks the ledger down. How about Eugene? Do you sit as well?
Yeah, I'm going to sit.
Awesome. He plonks the ledger down and takes a chair up opposite and kind of nestles himself in it. And this chair is huge compared to him, but he seems very comfortable in it and pulls it over. Right, so, Aisling, technically you are already a member of the guild, so all I'm doing is just making sure that people understand that you are currently representing the Ogre's Rest as a member, as opposed to the Ladywell Farms.
Cool.
Your mentor spoke very highly of your capabilities with map making and intelligence and analysis. We will be utilising that. Not all adventuring is sword, sorcery, and slaying of beasts.
Well, that is very lucky, and I'm glad to hear it.
And he kind of jots a couple of things down in there in language. What languages do you guys speak?
Common, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Nope.
Common, Draconic, Elvish.
Nope.
Just common and elvish.
Nope. Nothing that you guys speak. It's a language you do not recognise, and it seems it just kind of flows down quickly.
I'm leaning over, watching, like. Ooh.
It kind of just brushes your nose with the end of the quill. Manners, young lady. Now, Eugene, very sorry about Perb. He sent me a message directly saying that he was not able to get back in time. He's away on a mission at the moment. I'm not certain what he's doing. Unfortunately, he's not a member of the guild, so I'm not privy to what contracts he's working on at the moment. But he said to get you comfortable, get you settled, and start you working. And then he will catch up with you as soon as he can.
Okay, but he's okay, right?
I think so, yes. He seemed fine when I talked to him. I mean, he was by magic, so, he didn't seem alarmed or concerned. So just, wanted to make sure that you were okay and that I had somebody capable guarding your back. And he kind of nods towards Roc.
Roc's going to look slightly confused and then very proud.
And he pulls out. I think Dietrich kind of notices this and kind of just shakes his head. Goes, "You've not failed the mission yet, so clearly you're doing something right."
Of course.
Pulls out some sheaves of paper and plumps them in front of Eugene. As you know, the Adventurers Guild are international organisation. We do not owe allegiance to any country or any political body. These contracts will allow you to work wherever you need to be. They will allow you to present yourself as a member of the Adventurers Guild and uphold our goals, which is to serve the populace, not to involve ourselves in the politics of the world, and not to take sides in the conflicts that often occur between the great nations. It's fairly straightforward standard stuff. We do need you to sign these releases. Also, it does mean that if you do, for whatever reason, get involved in something that is underhand or that, we have some litigation to protect ourselves and to offer protection for you as well. That stops some of the greater powers from manipulating us.
Nice one.
So we are more than mercenaries, kind of heroes in wanting to be, I guess, but we will not take sides. We will help people who pay us to help them. Or, sometimes, charitably, if they need it.
Understood. And he's going to start, reading through the contract just to make sure what he's signing.
Yeah. Make a general intelligence check for me. It's one of your strong points anyway.
23.
23. All above board. Like, actually, I mean, I don't know how many contracts Eugene would have seen or sort of referred to, but everything feels like it's watertight. Like, this goblin has done this a lot and is quite good at it. And yeah, nothing that stands out that says that you're going to be screwed over or ripped off or that they can do anything that they want to. It literally is just, you work for us, you represent us, you will behave in the appropriate way. In return, we will pay you. We will obviously take a small commission for each job. We will charge that to the client, not to you. You will be required to perform each task within the allotted time. And you will not be able to take on an additional contract until the one you have taken on is completed. Basic sort of like, you're an adventurer, you work for us, we pay you, we charge the client.
Also, unless you don't tick this box, you'll be subscribed to our mailing list.
Yeah, I want to opt out of
The mailing list,
email.
yeah. So no message birds to you. So you tick the right box and GDPR magically appears and kind of says, no, not for this person, and then disappears. GDPR is a small
You do
fairy.
get a huge jar of cookies thrown at you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic cookies.
Amazing.
Anyway.
So if Eugene feels comfortable and happy, he can sign those documents.
Yes, I will sign.
And the goblin goes, excellent, right. First mission, straight off the boat, nonetheless.
Well, straight off the airship.
Aisling, this will also be for you as well, because obviously new guild, need you to do something for us just to make sure that you are up to scratch. And Roc, this might be of interest to you, seeming as you've been around for a little while and you've probably heard what's going on. We have a small rat problem in the city at the moment. It's been a bit of a continuing issue. Normally, down to exterminators and the like, of which, of course, there are several guilds, rat catchers guild, etc., out there doing their job. But we have a small problem in as much as they keep coming back and they keep getting into places that they are not supposed to. And as Roc will tell you, a couple of them have been quite big, like dog-size big. And I'm not talking like those little bag dogs that some humans like to carry around. I'm talking proper mastiff. Yes, we have had a call from, and he looks down, Dodd Teodric, a merchant who operates out of the Merchant's Favour. He has actually commissioned us before, had no problems for a couple of weeks, and they have managed to find their way back. He says that they are an alarming number. What he would like us to do as a guild is, rather than exterminate, he would like us to find out what the cause of them coming up in such great numbers is, and stop it if we can. Or at least hand over the right information to the Rat Catchers Guild so they can do their job properly, as opposed to just coming down and killing a few rats and then wandering away. It seems really basic, I know. It's probably not what you were expecting when you signed up to be an adventurer, but we have to do the little things first before we can get you onto the big things. Does that sound
And just
fair?
out of character, real quick, I'm really enjoying that there's a rat catchers guild.
Historically, I think there were in a lot of major cities. Like, it's quite big business. Like, so.
That's amazing.
Roc's just going to go. DJ, I'm sure you don't need myself. I'm an experienced adventurer. Rats. It seems good.
Well, I mean, as per the guild's rules, 2 newcomers need a supervisor of sorts. Someone just to make sure that they are safe and can find their way
Why
around.
didn't you say so? Of course, I'm more than happy to supervise.
I'll have an insight check off of Aisling and Eugene. It's not particularly high.
Mm-hmm. 13.
13 and 15, was that, Theo?
Yeah, 15.
Awesome. Yeah, you there's an expression like, well, as soon as Roc's sort of like in full flow, like the goblin just looks at the two of you and just goes, Very briefly, and then as soon as Roc looks back, he's patiently sitting there calmly.
Right, so where do we begin?
The first thing you should probably do is make your way down to Dod Teodric's warehouses on the edge of the district. So the Merchant's Favour, and he kind of pulls out and draws you a quick map towards the edge near where the fields start. The fields, Roc, you would know already, is where the farmlands start and where farmhands and workers all live.
Did you say he pulled out a map?
He pulled out a small map of the city.
Okay, I feel like Aisling's immediately copying it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. You can take the map. It's yours.
No, don't worry. Don't worry, mine will be better. Don't worry.
I shall take the map, thank you.
Do you have gear? Is there anything you think you need?
Elaborate.
Adventuring gear. Do you have any sort of poultices, healing equipment, weapons?
I have about 23 pens.
I think we could probably do with a little adventuring gear, purely for the beginners, obviously. It could be very helpful, I feel.
This is a good question. I mean, Eugene, I know that your parents wouldn't have let you go without some sort of preparation.
I've got lots of bread. My sister sent me with lots of bread. So we're good for rations.
I mean, it could be good for luring the giant rats.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
That's what happens when you're an experienced adventurer.
I don't think Evelyn would be very happy though if she found out that I fed her bread to rats.
How angry do you think Evelyn would be with you, Eugene?
Extremely.
Yeah. These are her.
And like she'll know. Like I think it's a twin thing or something, but she will know.
These are her special cupcakes as well, so like her special buns, I should say. So yeah, no. You've probably got some regular bread on you, I should imagine, though, for the journey and stuff.
I mean, you must have some kind of weapons on you. What kind of adventuring did you think you were doing?
I mean, I've got a staff. I don't really fight things with my fists.
So,
I've got
neither
a staff
do I.
I've got a staff with a pointy bit on it.
Do you both got
I think it's
stars?
called a spear.
Well, I feel infinitely more comfortable now.
I mean, I've got plenty of books.
It's under the impression, says Dietry, stepping back, as a relative of Perv, that you might have some mystical ability at your disposal, young Eugene.
I do.
Oh, well, there you go.
Now, Roc is an accomplished wordsmith. Literally speaks so loudly the world changes around him. It's quite impressive.
Roc's trying to figure out if that was a compliment or not.
And young Aisling, besides your ability to map and assess, I believe you have some mystical ability that has recently come up.
Oh yeah. I can do magic stuff now.
Eugene's very interested, and he's already preparing a list of questions to ask you once we get out of here.
There is a cold sigh in the back of your mind, Aisling. I mean, I would have personally led with that, but you do you, my dear. And yeah.
Do you have any? Do you have any daggers lying around that you could perhaps equip them with, at least so that they're marginally prepared for some?
Yeah, I think we can probably spare you a dagger each. It's no problem. And he kind of gets up. Come with me. Takes you through into a large courtyard area.
As he's leaving, I'm just going to yell, and perhaps some healing potions?
You know healing potions cost extra. They're not.
Well, if you want to let them die on your head here.
So he takes you both through in this large courtyard where there's a load of practice dummies set up and things like that, and archery butts and the like as well. And at the far end is like a large shed which he opens, and there is racks upon racks of weapons, which are clearly for purchase if you need them. And he kind of goes to a slightly, darker end of it and kind of pulls out. He's like, chink, like mace. No, that's no good. The shield is broken. Why is this even in here? And pulls out a couple of very plain, clearly used daggers that have been left behind. He goes, nobody ever claimed them. You might as well have them.
To what level of use are we talking? Cobwebs or blood?
No, they're clean, but they clearly have the leather on the hilt is used and warped, and like there is a.
He doesn't like flick some viscera off it. And give it to us.
Yeah, no, it just pulls them out of a body that's in the side there.
Let me just get that eyeball off the end, and it'll be fine. There you go.
Yeah, no, he's these are second-hand daggers as opposed to like this is clearly some sort of lost and found box from things that people have left behind.
Oh, rescue daggers.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So you can each mark an extra dagger on your
They're not
equipment.
pets.
Not with that attitude, they're not.
Oh dear. So you can each add a dagger to your equipment.
Yeah.
So, the commission on the contract, he says, wandering back through to where Roc is sort of standing around, is 48 hours. As long as you complete the commission within that time, we will receive the full fee. After that, there is a docking of the fee. It is 10 gold a head, so for all three of you. And the guild will take 3 gold off of the client for handling the contract.
But we still get the 10 each, yes?
You still get the 10 each. That is the way we
Very
run
good.
things. Not going to take it out of your pocket. That's what clients are for.
Well, I'm just asking so that they get to understand how it works.
That's fair enough. Yes, you're poor sellswords after all. You need every coin you can get so you can spend it here. Otherwise, Neve gets really annoyed with me.
Not the only one.
He ignores that. Right, so it's up to you. You can start today, you can start tomorrow, but do make sure you get it done within the next 48 hours.
What time is
What
it
sort of
now,
time of day is it?
day-wise,
Yeah.
anyway?
I probably think it's probably about mid-morning, like late morning actually, probably getting on towards lunch, so you might want to feed up before you go. Oh, while you are under contract, you have a reduced rate of access to the inn. It is only 1 silver a night. Normally it is 5 silver, but this is the arrangement we have made. Food and drink is your own business. We do not provide that.
Although they do serve very good food here, so we might want to have some food before we head off, perhaps.
That
Yeah, I'm
sounds good.
starving.
I'm starving.
Excellent. And I think that seems like a really comfortable place for us to actually go and put something in our stomachs and make some cups of tea
yes.
and feed our furries, respectively. We're going to have a 10-minute break. We will be back here about... I'm just doing the maths in my head. Can you tell it's not working? 25 to, I would say. In the meantime, our lovely, very talented Wayne has put together a bit of an intermission slideshow. So if you are sticking around, please do pay attention. There's some really wonderful links to some people that we care a lot about. Some thank yous to the people who have made this possible. And some art.
It does also sound like we're about to pitch people a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, pretty much so. Yeah. And if you can buy our pyramid, you too can. No,
For just £10 a month.
No, just literally just some thank yous to people and some advertisers, some shows that we love and things like that. But we will be back in 10 minutes. Thank you very much for watching so far. I'm excited to take you on to the first step as they literally go and kill rats in a basement.
It's high adventure in this
High
podcast.
adventure. Amazing. Thank you guys. See you shortly. We're back, and I remembered this time. Little late, but I remembered. I'm getting better at this. Yes, I hope you're all fed and watered. Thank you so much. There's some really wonderful people in chat. Well, you're all wonderful. Thank you for coming and sharing this time with us. But a particular shout out to Charlie's mum, who's giving us a watch at the moment. Thank you so much for coming to join us and for your lovely message. It means the world to us. That's really cute of you. Thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Hi, Mum. I can actually say that now. Hi, Mum.
Hi, Charlie's mum.
Hi, Charlie.
I need to have a little sign that says, "Hi, Mum."
Awesome. For those who are just dropping in a little bit later on, our three adventurers have managed to meet, get to know each other a little bit, and the newer adventurers, Aisling and Eugene, have signed themselves up to the local Adventurers Guild and agreed to take on their first mission. Well, I say agree, more like not really given much of an option, but it's something they need to do just to prove that they are capable. The mission in question is actually just to track down an increase in the local rat population and what might be causing it. So, they have been given a map. The three of you sit down to a hearty meal at the inn before you head off. Yeah, it's pretty much anything you need is there. But it's very basic sort of stuff, but it's well prepared, quite filling, gets you where you need to be. Do any of you have strange dietary requirements? Nah.
I think Eugene's probably vegetarian.
That's fine.
I was going to say, I think Aisling's probably vegetarian as well.
Yeah, I think they're more than happy to.
Again, we're not projecting at all.
Hey, vegetarians are welcome in this world.
I don't even want to eat fantasy meat.
Exactly.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to, frankly, if you don't want to. So no, there are some nice vegetarian options available for you as well. I won't go into.
Maybe it's like in Star Trek where it's like replicated fake meat, so it's okay.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. Magical meat.
Dear. So you guys have your nice meal, probably a couple of drinks. Probably mark off about let's say 3 silver ahead for the food. Just because you do have to pay for this one, I'm afraid. And you find yourself wrapping up. And are you ready to go? Awesome. So, who wants to lead or try and navigate through the city to find the appropriate warehouse?
Oh, I shall immediately volunteer Aisling.
Yeah, there you go.
I was just going to say, well, you're good with maps and things, aren't you? Didn't they say you're a map person thing? Yes?
A cartographer?
That's the one. Come on, then. You can lead the way. Go on.
Awesome.
Okay. And she immediately just starts walking in a direction.
Do you want to... I mean, is Aisling trying to actively find this, or is she just having a saunter around and have a nose?
How much direction did we get before we left? How much did they tell us as to how to find this place?
They told you where you need to go, where it is, and they gave you a map of the city. So you know.
Oh yeah, because she copied it. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, she's immediately just like flawlessly navigating us there.
I would like you to make a survival check with advantage because of your background.
Yeah.
Because you is good with maps.
Cool. That was 23.
A 23, yeah. You guys rolled below a 20? No, you rolled some teens, so yeah. The natural ones are coming, I swear.
I did get a 4 at one point.
That's a fair point, yeah.
We're saving the natural ones for combat.
Yay, excellent. That's what I like to hear.
When it really matters, you know.
So you, with that roll, you kind of look at the map and you're like, you immediately know, you're like, okay, cool. So like using, right, excellent. That landmark works there. You're just kind of stepping around people. A couple of times, I think Eugene and Roc need to stop you from walking into things, but you do lead them straight through. How much?
As she's going, can she like fill in other bits and correct the map that this other person did?
Yeah, with that roll easily, like you can like this is that angle on that building's wrong, and this is actually named this now, and I mean, you know from your time in New Doan that like cities are harder to map in a lot of respects because like the specific details on the street level change quite a lot, and new buildings go up quite regularly and occasionally burn down as well. But you're pretty sure this will get you through the next couple of months, no problem. You lead out of the edge of the Sky Landing. And you immediately notice that there's more shops and more shop fronts and buyers and things like that, and lots of people sort of like hawking wares and doing trade and things like that. The thoroughfare are broader, as like for carts and things like that. And you actually, I think at some point, Roc probably grabs you by the shoulder to stop you getting run over by a large vehicle that kind of poodles across. Make a perception check for me.
18.
18, cool. You catch at the corner of your eye somebody watching the three of you, and as soon as they clock that you've clocked, they dive down an alley.
I'm gonna poke Roc. Roc.
That was me, sorry. Yes. What?
Did I catch what they looked like? Who was watching us?
Not quite. Somebody roughly about human height. You would probably guess. And they were becloaked. And they definitely were watching the three of you. I think with an 18, they seem to specifically be honed in on Roc. And then as soon as they clocked that you had clocked them, they disappeared down an alley very quickly before you get any real details.
Okay, I'm gonna point down where the alley is. Be like, Roc,
Yes.
there was some person watching you. I spotted him, and they immediately buggered off, but they were watching you.
I mean, people watch.
Okay, right,
It is
now-
I am a performer by nature.
Okay, I've known you like an hour. I know what people look like when they're going, oh my god, it's Roc. That one wasn't doing that.
Oh, well, everyone's a critic, dear.
Just so you know, they were watching. They looked a wee bit sketchy, so...
Where did they point it out?
Down there.
Is it far from where we are?
It's literally the other side of the street.
Okay, I'm literally going to just stride over and look down the alley. Not into the alley, just at the start of it and look down.
Do you look down? Or...
Should we wait here?
Yeah, just wait there. I'm literally just going to walk up and have a look down the alley. Like I say, I'm not going in the alley on my own. But...
Are you looking for anything specific, or you just?
No, I'm just looking down the alley to see if there is somebody there or anyone moving down that alley.
No, you can't see anybody there anymore. But it has taken you had a conversation and then you crossed the road, so it is entirely likely they managed to scarp her.
Okay, as there is no one there, could I just have a look at, like, just at the entrance of the alley? I'm not going to walk all the way down, but just have a look at the entrance if there's any markings or anything that will indicate somebody was there and Aisling is not just making things up.
Yeah, absolutely. Make an investigation check for me.
That would be an 8.
An 8? No, I mean, there's loads of boot marks and things like that. This is quite a busy area, so you can't make out anything specific. Aisling could have very well seen something, but you can't see anything specific.
That's fine. I shall turn around and walk back to them and just say to Aisling, very good eyesight, but I'm sure it was just somebody working in the alley. And they've gone anyway, so I'm sure we're fine. Come along.
Okay.
And you carry on in your journey. Eugene, there are so many different sights and sounds and new faces and things like that, and peoples you've never even seen before. What is Eugene's thoughts at the moment? What are they feeling?
I mean, he's very excited, but he's also pretty overwhelmed. And I imagine he's trying to, like, take in as much as possible. And, like, as they're walking, he's got his notebook and he's kind of, like, making notes as they're kind of walking and kind of looking around. So he's definitely not noticing anything that's happening with the alleyway or people, dodgy people. He's just kind of taking everything in.
Yeah, lovely, excellent. So you kind of you're kind of very in tune with what's going on in the city and things like that as well. So I'd like you to make a perception check with advantage for me.
12.
12. So while these two are having their debate about whether or not there was somebody across the way, you notice that somebody sort of shuffles up close to you, and you feel something jostle you, and a slight swear, and this child just kind of darts away from you, going. You kind of look down and you can see that your purse is open.
That stop him!
What?
Who should we... What?
Thief! He went that way.
What's going on?
He went that way. He stole something from me.
Oh, can I see the thief at all, the child?
No, they have disappeared into the alley. They've disappeared into the crowd very quickly.
What did they steal? Check your belongings then.
What did they take?
Newbies.
It looks like it was your money pouch that they were trying to get into. Do you want to have a quick count up on what's going on? Doesn't look like they actually managed to get anything. It looks like you managed to catch them before they could walk off with any of your coins.
Ooh.
Clearly not very accomplished. But it
I
does
don't
remind
think they
you
actually
this is a
took anything.
very different city, a different place to where you've been living.
Do keep things close to you and make sure all your bags are buttoned up and do be careful. We are adventurers here. We're not tourists, you know.
Where I'm from, we leave the front door open, you know.
Well, you're not there anymore.
There's more sheep than people.
Gripping. Shall we? Aisling, which way?
Shady bitch. That was out of character.
Eugene will remember that.
Everybody hated that.
I kind of want to have that animation now for each of you.
Yes.
Oh no, yeah. Amazing.
Aisling, which way are we going?
That way.
I think Eugene's going to take his coin purse and like put it somewhere more safe, like in an inside pocket of his jacket.
He's going to pull his bum bag round to the front now.
Yeah. His fancy bum bag is at the front.
Have our rucksacks on the front. Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it is people from from outer London going into London for the very first time.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's tube aesthetic.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing, brilliant, and sensible. I don't think either of the other characters will begrudge you that. So you're kind of wandering along, like a bit more careful and like dodging back and forth and then keeping an eye on everything. Aisling does lead you to what looks like a really lovely set of buildings, like these really large wooden framed with beautiful white walls and things like that, huge open doors, and lots of people milling around. And over the top it says Dodd Teodric, as entrepreneur and provider of very fine goods. And
There we are.
Very, very well navigated. I mean, the city is huge, and that's, I mean, well done on your first day here.
Yeah, thanks. It's weird not drawing 90% of a map as trees, but I did it.
Yes, there's somewhat lacking in the city, the tree things. Right, is everyone ready? Shall we meet this benefactor?
Yeah.
Right. I will stride forward and knock on the door of the warehouse.
There isn't really a door to knock on. There are people moving back and forth. It is currently it's a very open and active warehouse. People are loading in goods, and there are a couple of official-looking guard-like people.
I'll just try and stop someone who's kind of walking past us. Probably the one that is the most busy and least interested in stopping to talk to me, knowing Roc. But excuse me, sorry. Sorry.
There's a young half-orc who is a little on the skinny side for a half-orc, who is clearly trying to carry more than he should.
I'll definitely stop him.
Who kind of looks at you, panicked as soon as you start talking. How can I help?
I'm looking for Dodd Teodric. I believe he's the proprietor here. Could you point me in the direction?
He's in the office, I think, and he tries to point, realizes he can't, and kind of tries to nudge his.
I'm just going to sort of that way. That way.
No, just in the office, inside the building.
In the office. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
And as you kind of step away, he fails his strength check and drops everything.
I shall very quickly usher Eugene and Aisling. Come along, the office is that way. Come on.
Shouldn't we help?
I'm sure he'll be fine. Come on.
So you make your way into the warehouse. It is busy. There is a large, ornate looking inner building built over against the back corner. And there looks like a very stressed looking human kind of standing outside, kind of checking things over and things like that. And he kind of immediately clocks the three of you, who look completely out of place, and starts stomping towards you. You're either the adventurers I sent for, or very lost.
Or both. We're definitely not lost.
We're not lost. We are definitely the adventurers. My name is Roc, and I shall bow more flamboyantly than is necessary. And these are my companions, fellow adventurers, I would even say.
Right.
It's my first day.
Oh, don't lead with that, dear. This is Aisling, and this is Eugene. All members of the Adventurers Guild.
He kind of looks at first day. I mean, I know it's rats, but this has been an ongoing problem.
Yeah. First day here. Eugene has just landed today. An adventurer from elsewhere. First day here.
Make a deception check for me.
So many deception checks already.
I know, right?
That will be a 13.
A 13, yeah. He kind of. Oh, do you know what? He clearly doesn't quite believe you, but he kind of settles with it and just rolls with it for a moment, and he's just like, do you know what? I'm paying good coin. As long as you can do your job, I don't care. I don't care if you were born yesterday, as long as you can actually do the job.
Perfectly capable. Now, tell us about your problem. Your problem with rats, or rather, your rat problem. I'm not saying you have a
large rat problem, and I'm talking large rat problem. But that was 2 weeks ago, and a bunch of young adventurers came before, killed a lot of them. Beautiful, really good job. And we haven't seen the large rats since, which is a blessing. Hey, so come here, and takes you to the back. Walks you back through loads of goods and things like that. There are hundreds coming in on a regular basis, and he kind of, you can see lots of rat tracks coming through these series of holes towards the back, coming out of crates and other areas. They're getting in, they're eating goods that we need, and there just seems to be too many of them.
Have you tried sealing the holes?
Yes, they find new ones.
Yes, I believe rats will do that.
Yeah, they're very good at it. And these ones seem particularly clever because the Rat Catchers Guild have been down several times, not managed to catch a single one.
I'm sure we can help you. Where were they coming from? Where should we...
Well, that's what I'm paying you for. I need someone to figure out where they're coming from so that the Rat Catchers Guild can either get in there and sort them out, Or if you are up for the more violent approach, you just get rid of them so they don't come back. I don't care which. I just want them to stop getting into my warehouse. So however you resolve it is up to you.
Very well. Can we have a look where they're coming into the warehouse, and perhaps we can work out from there where they are coming from.
Yeah, help yourself. Like, I'm a very busy man, so I need to get back to my crews and make sure that they're doing their job. But you have the run of the place. No one will stop you. Just keep your fingers out of the goods. All right?
Oh, of course. Oh, cheek. We'll have a look in the back. And Roc's just going to lean down to Eugene and say, "Have you read any books on rats? Do you know anything about them?"
Yeah, I know quite a lot about rats, actually. And Eugene's going to cast Find Familiar.
Yep.
And kind of out of nowhere, a little puff of purple smoke, a small rat appears on his shoulder. He's grey and white. And he just kind of nestles on his shoulder and
I shall pull my dagger out. Instantly.
Whoa! This rat is not for killing, sir.
But that's what we're here for, to get rid of the rats.
Not this one. This is my friend. His name is Pocket, and if you touch him, or even look at him in the wrong way...
Wait. This is your friend?
Yeah.
Your friend is a rat?
Yes.
You have a rat who is your friend?
Yes.
Right, that's not going to complicate the rat thing at all, obviously. Not at all.
I am in a bit of a moral quandary, but he's a friend rat. He's not a rabid, giant, snarling kind.
Well, not yet. They start small. That's how things grow. Right, could you ask your friend if he could... Perhaps he could talk to the other rats and find out where they're coming from.
Maybe. I mean, he could definitely go through the hole and take a look.
Oh, that's actually quite a good idea. Well, go on then. Send him through the hole.
Peter wants Charlie. She'll be back in a minute.
Eugene's going to take him off his shoulder and kind of speak to him softly. Yeah, we need your help, pal. If you could just sneak through this hole and see what's going on down there, but just be careful because I don't want you to get eaten. These do not sound like friends.
I'm just going to look at Aisling while this conversation is happening, as if to say, like, is this real? Like,
I mean,
and then he kind of kneels down and like places him gently on the floor.
If you want to, either of you can make an Arcana check.
No,
fair enough. So you watch as Pocket goes down, kind of in almost a very slightly human way, sits up for a second, thinks, and kind of and starts snuffling away. Can I have you make a perception check, or a perception check for Pocket for me, please? Which I think he gets advantage because of the smell. I'm not entirely sure with rats. Nah, he gets advantage because of the smell.
17.
17? Yeah, he starts picking his way through and kind of looks back over his shoulder as if to say, waiting for you lot to follow him.
what is he doing?
Oh, yeah. So he kind of picks his way forward, waits for you all to move forward and follow him. And then,
okay. Are we supposed to follow him? Do we follow him?
Yeah. Let's follow him.
Okay. But he's gone through the little hole, correct?
He has not gone through the hole. He's moved.
Okay.
He's sniffing his way. He's actually moving through the
warehouse.
Actual warehouse at the moment.
Got it. Okay. I shall nudge Eugene forward and then follow Eugene.
Yep. Eugene, do you follow?
Yeah. Is he going through the hole? Because once he goes through the hole, I can see what he's seeing, right, as an action.
He seems to, although you found this hole, he actually seems to want to go further into the warehouse itself. Like he's following something directly because you, almost like you said to find rats, didn't you? So he seems to be tracking actual rats.
Okay, then we'll follow.
Yeah. And he kind of... sorry, that was my confusion. I just wanted to make sure you understood that. He picks his way through with the three of you following. It's quite a weird scene from anybody watching from the outside. There's like little rat kind of stopping, almost very humanly doing this every once in a while, sniffing the ground, taking you down a different route. And he does pick the way through, and you kind of get the impression that if rats were coming through here, they're doing it in a very complicated, very much more intelligent way than rats would normally do. Rats would, like, they're quite instinctual animals. They're quite clever, but they are very instinctual, so they would go directly to the food the safest way they possibly could. These ones seem to have doubled back on themselves a couple of times, like almost like a thief would do. There's a level of intelligence here that is like just a little bit above what a rat would normally have. And you eventually come to a large door which leads to the back alley behind the warehouse. And Rat stops at the foot of it, looks at you, Eugene, and then squeezes his way underneath.
I take it we follow.
Should we go through the door? Or I can take a look and see. I can see what he's seeing, so we don't have to go through the door just yet.
Well, I'm sure it's
Small.
fine. I'm sure it's just a back alley, surely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean-
Sounds like famous last words to me, but
Oh, no. Must be brave as adventurers, surely. And then I'm going to open the door if it's unlocked. But I'm literally going to open it an inch
Yep.
and stare through bravely.
There is a slightly messy. There's a slightly messy alley outside. There's detritus and detritus and rubbish just all like strewn as they are in some of these places. Other than that, it looks like a fairly normal alley. You do see a small white and grey rat kind of snuffling along and kind of hears the door creak, turns and looks at you, and then carries on with what.
I give him the thumbs up.
I shall open the door and say, see, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing to be worried about. Come along, follow the friend. Follow the thing, the rat.
His name is Pocket.
Of course it is. Come along.
Pocket the rat is perfect.
That's brilliant.
So cute.
So you are in this alleyway now, and Pocket has made his way, and he kind of goes to this large storm grate, and sort of stops there, looks to you, and motions with one of his paws down.
He's very clever, isn't he?
Yeah, I told you didn't want to kill him.
Yet. Well, is he implying we should go down into the drain?
I think so.
Good. So
Sorry.
into the...
Been out.
That's all right. So the rat is telling us we should go down into the drain. Right. Okay. So.
He's never been wrong before.
Oh, good. Let's have a look. Let's have a look down first, shall we? Just.
I think at this point, Pocket kind of looks at you, Eugene, and just kind of goes.
Wait. What did that mean? You said he's never been.
Nothing.
Right. Okay. I am going to see if I can wedge the storm grate up so that we can have a look down.
Yeah. Are you doing anything in particular to do that, or are you just trying to yank it up?
I'm just trying to yank it up.
Make a strength roll. You can add athletics to it if you have it.
I very much doubt it.
Not the strongest party.
No.
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh, that's all right. 17.
17. Yeah, with 17,
Yeah.
this big dragon man reaches down and effortlessly tosses back this cover.
So powerful.
Standing, looking probably a little surprised with himself at that.
Yeah. I'm just. It's very light. I mean, no. Yes, of course I'm powerful. Right, can you put it down? Can I just have a look? Just peer down the drain.
Absolutely can. Yeah. There is the tracks and the stone undercity. and the runoff of a sewerage tunnel.
Nice.
Right. Is there a ladder going down?
Yes, actually there is. There is a small metal ladder, like wedged into the stonework.
Right, well.
I think you probably recognise dwarven masonry when you see it.
So before we jump into the sewers, did you say something about being able to see through your rat rather than trudging
Yes.
through sewage?
We can become one brain. And I can see through his eyes.
I think Pocket even Pocket looks over his shoulder at you with a quizzical look at this point.
I mean, it sounded cooler in my head.
Moving on, would you like to become one with the rat and see what perhaps what's down there, just in case? You know, I mean, I'm obviously not worried about anything. It's a bit sewery down there.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, Eugene sends him down, and he kind of sits down on the ground, and his eyes kind of go white, and he doesn't really respond to what's going on anymore, so he can't see or hear you.
So, Eugene, from what you see, you see Pocket climb down using the metal runs and the cracks in the stonework to kind of pull himself down in that way that rodents.
sorry, I have an idea that there's a tiny rat ladder next to the human one.
I mean, that would be the explanation for where they're coming from. Clearly, no, he's cleverly using cracks in the stonework and the metal ladder that has been put in there by humans, and alternating between the two of them to get down. And he gets down to the base, and it's quite dark down here, so you're probably operating more by smell than sight at this point, because he can see to a certain extent, but it's because rats are better at that than humans are. But he has limited view. The sort of the olfactory like overwhelm kind of melds with your brain for a second and then settles as you kind of get used to being back in Pocket, and you can almost perceive like waves. So the way your brain makes sense of it, if you know in video games where you like to have the scent track.
Yeah.
It's very much like that sort of thing. So your brain processes it as this stream of haze across the stonework. But you know for a fact that's his heightened smell that you don't understand. And he starts picking his way along that. Well, you're technically in control, so you can maneuver him as far along as you want to.
Okay. So can I see or smell anything unusual?
Make a perception check with advantage using Pocket's stats.
13.
13. Lots of rats. I mean, lots of rats. Lots of different rats, different genders, different types, all huddled down here somewhere. It is almost overwhelming for him. He doesn't smell anything else, and he finds that slightly unusual because there should be other types of creatures in there. So he's a little confused by that, and that passes back through your link.
Okay. I'll keep going a little further just to see if there's anything else.
Yeah. So he scampers along, kind of comes down. He comes through a little bit of the tunnel network, and it kind of opens up into a larger branch of space. There's sewer water kind of trickling past, and on the other side you can see another footpath equivalent along there that he could probably get to if he swam across, if you want him to do that. Other than that, it kind of goes up towards his right and keeps on going into the darkness.
And are these passages like big enough for us to traverse?
Yeah, you reckon that the three of you could walk along these.
And there's no sort of like immediate danger?
Nothing that you can see?
No. Okay. I'll bring him back.
Awesome. He kind of scampers back and sitting, I think, with the two of you waiting, I guess. Are you looking down the grate, trying to see what's happening, or...?
I am.
I would have probably got slightly bored because Eugene's just sitting there. So I'm standing nearby, but I've stopped looking down the grate at nothing.
So
Aisling occasionally pops up and kind of goes like this in front of Eugene's face.
Yeah, that's it. That's no response.
Yeah, absolutely no response. Aisling, I think it's at the point you kind of go, Eugene's not responding. Okay, I'll go and see what's going on. You see the little grey and white rat pop into view and look up at you and just go.
At this point,
Oh my
I
God.
will come back to my senses, so to speak.
And the rat climbs back up onto the surface, up Eugene's jacket, and sits on his shoulder.
So there's lots of rats down there, like all different kinds of rats, and it's weird, but like that's all there is down there. There's nothing else. Well, as far as we could smell, anyway.
Right. Well, I suppose.
But the
We are-
passageways are big enough for us to fit through, so we can go take a look.
Well, we are supposed to find out where these rats are coming from, so I suppose we'd best follow the trail of rats. Oh God, that's a sentence I never thought I'd have to say. Right, come on, who's going down first? I'm way too heavy. Someone else should test it first, definitely.
I feel like Aisling offers to go first, forgetting she has hooves.
I was going to say, with those nimble hooves on a metal ladder.
How difficult is it for Aisling to climb down a metal ladder
She's
that's probably ever so slightly slimy?
Yeah, I feel like she slips about a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's up to you, but I think she might manage it. But it's not very elegant.
So I think the question I'm going to ask you is: does Aisling do this with her normal disregard for anyone or anyone else's safety, including her own, or does she actually think, okay, I need to be sensible about this?
I mean, the game player in me wants to say the latter,
Okay.
but the Aisling in me says the first thing.
Okay.
So she doesn't regard safety at all.
It's a relatively simple DC, but I would like you to make me either an athletics or an acrobatics check, just to see you get down okay.
Okay. That's an 8.
That's an 8. Okay. You halfway down, you do lose your footing, and you bash your knee. So you can take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. As you just kind of face plant, like holding into the rail, and you kind of manage to get the rest of the way down as well. So it's not elegant. You probably should have taken that a lot more sensibly, but you do manage to get down with only a minor bruise to sort of show for it.
Eugene sort of calls
Yeah,
down
being
into the hole.
sensible.
Are you okay down there?
I feel like being sensible is for level 8 Aisling. Level 2 Aisling doesn't have that. She shouts up like, yeah, fine.
Well, come along, there's no time to play around. Come on.
Eugene takes it very carefully.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll if you're taking your care. Also, you're wearing boots, which have grips. So
Yeah. No hooves here.
I shall follow close on Eugene's heels, so to speak.
these things are not really designed with satyrs in mind. Roc, you make your way down as well.
Cool. Is it dark down here?
It is dark down here. Those of you...
I do have a lamp.
Who has dark vision? This is a good question. It's the
I
first time
don't
it's come up.
think I do.
I can't remember if satyrs do. I know Eugene does.
Yes.
I don't think I do.
I don't think Dragonborn do. No.
No. Oh dear.
I have low light vision. Doesn't say dark vision.
That's fine. You would be able to see enough down here.
Okay,
but Roc,
good.
I think if you want to get your lantern out.
Yeah, I have a lamp, so I will take my lamp out, and I shall light it, and just have a little bit of light for us to carry along.
So I think there's probably a small gasp from the two faking as you suddenly burst this bright light in front of them.
When they gasp, I instantly gasp and look around at what they're gasping at. What? What is it? What have you seen?
Can't you see in the dark?
Well, of course I can see in the dark, but we
What's
are
with the
tracking.
lamp, then?
We're tracking things. I want to make sure we see everything. The detail is important in these things. Oh, God. New adventurers.
I think the two of you can make a nature check on that one.
Okay. Oh man.
21.
11 for
21.
Aisling.
How much was that, sorry, Aisling?
11.
11. Aisling, you're not entirely certain, but Eugene, you know he's lying. Dragonborn do not see in the dark. You've read about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to embarrass him, but yeah, Eugene will remember that.
I feel like Eugene's keeping a ledger already.
I mean, he does literally have a ledger.
That's a good point. Right, which way are we headed? Which way are the smells?
I'm going to point us in the way that we went as Pocket.
So you,
I'm mapping as we go, by the way.
very good. Excellent. So you
Very clever.
go slightly slower because Aisling needs to make notes of where you're going. It's a bit rough for you because obviously you can't put the level of detail that you want to.
Nah.
But you start mapping the sewage system. You come down to the T-junction I described before, and it does go off to the left and the right. The smells were coming from the right, and there is as I said, there's a path on the other side if you guys want to try and leap over. The stream, the fall is probably about 10 foot across. It doesn't look like it's particularly deep, but it doesn't look like it's particularly pleasant.
Let's start with the part that doesn't involve wading through sewage, shall we?
With minor conjuration, could I conjure like something? Like if I conjure something, is it like physically solid? Would we be able to walk on it?
Yeah, I think that this is your wizard. For your school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it is that item. To all intents and purposes, you literally will that thing into existence.
Cool. So I conjure a plank of wood across.
Amazing.
Hey.
How big an item can you make with that? It's always.
Oh wait, it's 3 foot.
So 3 foot.
Okay, I conjure a rock in the 2 rocks
In the middle.
in the middle.
They go bloop and disappear underneath the water.
Damn.
I kind of. Aisling's got.
I mean, I tried.
Aisling's got.
I thought that was a great
You did.
idea.
It's a very good idea. Unfortunately, at your level, you're limited by the amount of mass that you can create. But it
What if we stood on the 3 foot
and no
plank?
more than 10 pounds.
What if we stood on the 3 foot plank and waded across?
Oh Jesus!
Like a little raft. Maybe I can conjure. No.
Roc could take the board, charge at the water, jump on it, and try and slide across.
Skimboard. I will not try that. Most definitely not.
How
and
wide
what-
is it again?
Eugene, for having such a really clever idea, if not the capability of doing it yet, you can have a point of inspiration for that.
Yeah.
Oh, so hang on, but the rat smells go right. So why are we trying to go across?
That's the way we are going, isn't it? Is it?
No,
not?
you're going right along. The tracks keep moving along the tunnel on the same.
So if we follow the smells, we don't have to cross the
Cool.
sewage.
Never mind.
I feel like
Problem
Eugene
solved.
just was like, I was.
I want to go over there.
Yeah, I was challenged to cross this. I will cross this.
He's just excited to be using magic, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean,
Well, we can come back and try your magic again. I give you my word. Which way did your pocket friend go?
To the right.
Okay, great.
you make
Shall we?
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab Aisling by the collar as she's like nose down, mapping everything. Just going to point her in the way we're going. We're going this way, dear.
All right. Yeah.
And you find yourself deeper into the sewers, and the sounds of the city like fade away, and you can only hear the trickle of water and the dropping of moisture. And you, oddly enough, I mean, you're none of you are probably that experienced with sewers as a whole, but you kind of expect there to be more like small animal noises, and there doesn't seem to be any at this point. It's very odd. You keep going along there, and you eventually come to a crossroad of two tunnels reaching and a small inlet where you can see like there's a runoff from another grate, and water is coming down into the sewer freely from the street. I would like everybody to make a perception check.
Oh, thought you were going to say initiative. 7 for Aisling.
6 for Roc.
Okay.
11.
Great. Oh man.
None of you see what is coming at all. You all spread out on the path, and you're kind of about to make a decision about which direction you can go when I think with 11, Eugene, you are the first person to notice as lots of little tiny red eyes suddenly appear in the darkness. And we're not talking like 10, we're talking 50, 60, 70, and the other end of the tunnel as well. And then from behind where you were, as swarms of rats come towards you in a rush, and a shrieking, squeaking fury at you daring to intrude upon their lair. I would like you all to roll initiative.
There we go. Oh, damn it.
Would you like us to do it in Roll20, Chris?
Well, it's you can do. I can make a note. I'll make a note of it. It's easier, I think.
Okay.
I just did mine in Roll20, so.
Okie dokie. Excellent. Ooh. What did you get, Aisling?
6.
A 6. Amazing.
A hearty 6.
Awesome. Roc?
Let's see.
If you'd like to pop yourself on the map, which I will just jump across.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you want me to...
On mine?
Are we all where Roc is?
You're all roughly where Roc is, yeah.
Oh, that was lucky.
Alright, cool.
Excellent. So our viewers can see the map. I'm just going to...
Oh, bloody hell.
Nice!
23 from Roc.
23.
Hey!
Amazing. That's a really good one. So
Yeah, if only I had something I could do.
Awesome. So we have Aisling at the back with 6. Eugene, what did you get?
3.
A 3. Oh no, Eugene at the back with 3. Aisling with a 6. The rats will be going on a 10. And ahead is Roc with a 23. Roc, you are up first. These rats appear all over the place, blocking the tunnels where you've come from and spreading out from every angle. What would you like to do?
I'm just going to look at Eugene and say, with a very sort of hopeful look on my face, say, friends of Pocket?
I don't think so.
Thought not. And they're surrounding us, are they?
They are surrounding you. They are blocking the tunnel's exits. If you want to run away, you are going to need to run through them.
Okay. So looking at the map, is this like a group of them behind us?
Yep. So each of those is probably about 50 or so rats.
Okay.
Oh, God.
And I'm guessing with the red eyes, they look fairly threatening.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely, I'm displeased for you being here.
As threatening as rats can look, I guess. Okay, I am going to turn around, have a look at what's sort of happening, and realize that we have to find a way out. Did we come up from the right here?
I would say you came from the south of that image.
So we came from here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to turn and face this group of rats. And I am going to... turn around, face them, and I'm just going to make a very dramatic pose and I'm going to, in a very low breath in Draconic, I am going to say, move at them. And as I say move, there are waves of what look like energy that come from my mouth, and I shall use my psychic breath weapon.
Nice.
So it will catch all of them within a 15-foot cone.
Yep.
And they must make a dex saving throw.
Yep, that's no problem. Bear with me.
That's a cool one.
They got a massive 9.
Oh, that was very close. It's not a very high DC. Great. So all of them will take a 2d8.
Right, do you want to roll your damage?
I'm going to roll it here. No, that was off the table. That's a 5.
5, yep.
Ooh, and a 6. So that's 11 points of damage.
You watch as several of these rats, they try and scurry out of the way, and some of them do get out of the way, and others don't. And you can see several of them just kind of... so this is psychic damage, isn't it?
Correct.
You hear a pop, like a series of little pops, as the different rat brains just go.
Oh, God.
Oh! Poor little babies!
Eugene just covers Pocket's eyes.
Yeah.
Pocket just goes...
You don't need to see this.
Roc is going to look at Pocket, and very careful that nobody else sees this, is going to look at Pocket and just mouth, sorry. Have I cleared enough of them away for us to run through there?
No, as soon as you clear through them, a load more just kind of descend into the space. And there is a mass as big as you have seen already.
Oh my God. I'm going to then look at the other two and just say, okay, out of ideas. Anyone know anything about rats?
Cool. Excellent. It is their go. And this one will charge towards the satyr. This group will come down here. And this one will charge... Sorry, clicking on the wrong thing. Too many screens open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And another one will come around the corner. So I think that from where we are, you will get an attack by one of them each. As literally the swarm cascades up like a tide and comes down on you. And there are lots of little tiny teeth trying to dig their way into your skin. Against Aisling, that's only a 6 to hit. They don't find purchase on your fur.
Haha.
Against Roc,
See,
19 to
body
hit.
hair is the best armor.
Yes, they hit me. I have scales and they hit me.
Only doing 6 points of piercing damage.
You do realise that we're level 2, right?
Yeah.
Only 6 points. Okay.
That's
great.
half.
And 15 to hit Eugene.
Yeah, that hits.
Only doing 8 points of biting piercing damage. That will make it Aisling's go.
Okay. I think.
Rats. Now, interesting thing about swarm of rats, and I should have mentioned this at the top of the raid, because of the nature of how they're spread out, you can move through their space. They do not.
Will we take 5,000 attacks of opportunity?
Yeah, each of them gets an attack of opportunity. No, you can stand in the same space as them. If you try and leave the space from them, the swarm will get an attack of opportunity as well.
Okay. I think because Aisling's in the midst of all of this, she's going to cast an armor on herself, the armor of Agathis.
Yep. How does your armor of Agathis manifest?
What, visually?
Mm-hmm.
I think it starts green from the feet, but then as it gets up to the head, it turns white because of her duality. So she starts to design it, and then someone else kicks in and designs the top bit for her.
I think towards the bottom, it's very sort of what you'd expect from Faye, like lots of beautiful curves, flowers, and designs and that. And then at the top, towards the top, it's still elegant, but it's much spikier.
Yeah. So like it gets a bit extra around her horns. She didn't approve of that. She didn't art direct that bit.
Yeah. So at the bottom, it's basically, you kind of get a visual sort of thing. Like it's a very strange mixture that you guys notice.
Yeah.
Also,
So I get 5 temporary hit points, and anytime anything hits me, they take 5 cold damage.
Nice.
Nice.
Awesome. That's brilliant. Remind me of that, because I am bound to forget in the heat of battle.
Okay.
Awesome. Do you do anything else with your action?
I think that's a full action.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
In which case, if you've got nothing else you want to do, we shall move on to Eugene.
Okay. Eugene sort of rubs his hands together and puts them on the ground and casts Thunder Wave.
Nice.
At the group directly in front of him there.
Cool. Thunder Wave is a cone, isn't it? I think.
It's a 15-foot cube.
15
So each creature in
Ooh,
the
a cube.
15
So
feet.
you will hit the other 2 swarms as well.
Nice.
And on a failed save, they take 2d8 thunder damage and are pushed 10 feet away from us.
Cool. That is Constitution save, isn't it?
Yes.
Awesome. First one
That's
is
a good one.
16.
Ooh, that saves.
Second swarm is a 9. And the third swarm is a 17.
Okay, so 2 passed and 1 failed. So on a successful save, they just take half as much damage and they're not pushed 10 feet.
Okay, cool. Do you want to roll your damage?
13.
13.
Oh, nice.
Nice. 13. So 2 of them take the full brunt of the 13, and the other one takes 6. It's interesting. So you guys see Eugene slam his hands into the ground, and there's this like ripple of energy, and the rats are like a whole group of them just go whee backwards, flying through the air. Is there any sort of other flavour to how Eugene casts his magic?
So there's a lot of purple smoke, and you almost feel like you could smell like freshly baked bread.
Nice.
I absolutely adore that. Yeah.
Nice, Eugene.
Roc is going to look very impressed by the magical effect, and then slightly confused by the after smell.
It is the nicest the sewer has ever smelled as well. Suddenly the overpowering
Yeah, why do these
stench-
rats smell like baguette?
Yeah. Toasted, lightly toasted baguette as well. Brilliant. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your round, your action?
I would like to move away from these guys, because my plan is that we push them back and then run. So I know that they'll get an attack of opportunity, but he would be like.
Fantastic. Yeah, they do indeed get an attack of opportunity against you. Only a 5 to hit though. They kind of like, I think the shock of the like being tussled around has them kind of go, oh, well, hang on, and the few of them that kind of leap out towards you just are just stunned. Like you shake one of them off your leg as you kind of bound back a few feet. Excellent. So top of the round, Roc. It is your turn.
Right. I would like to, if possible, I would like to use the lamp that I am carrying.
Okay.
And I would like to throw it at them to try and cause this oil lamp to cause a fire. Because I feel like it's what Roc would do.
I really love it. Okay, I would like you to make a dex-based attack roll.
Okay.
So I guess use what you would for your pistol.
Okay. Ooh, 21.
21.
Yeah.
So how I was doing is because basically you're just kind of throwing this into this horde of rats across this, and like it's a very low DC to hit. However, each 5 beyond there, I was going to add an additional D4. So if you could roll 3D4.
3d4.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. So that's a 2, and a 2, and a 1.
And a 1. Awesome. So that's 5 fire damage. 2. Wait, so whereabouts on the map? Just ping for me where you'd like.
I would definitely throw it at the nearest, to land at the nearest lot.
Awesome. So that lot take 5 fire, the full brunt of it, and the one beside it take half of it.
Okay.
Seem fair?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there's still this one behind us here, isn't there?
There is, yes.
Okay, cool.
So it was your action to
Yeah.
throw the lantern.
For my bonus action, I am going to touch Aisling on the shoulder and look at Eugene, and I'm just going to say, well, for goodness sake, do something. You're adventurers now. And that will count as Bardic Inspiration. So you both have Bardic Inspiration, which means that you now have a D6.
You should only be able to affect one person with your Bardic Inspiration at any point.
Oh, that's a very good point. I beg your pardon. That is true. Only one at a time. I'm sorry if that's wrong. So I will then Bardically inspire Aisling, as she's closest for now. So you get a D6, which you can use for an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. And because of my magical inspiration, you can also, if you choose to, rather use that to add to damage if you cause damage.
Yeah, or healing magic as well.
Or healing if you heal someone, But
Yeah.
That last one won't happen, but
I'm not seeing a lot of healing going on right now.
Amazing. Awesome. So that was a good turn. Do you want to move at all, or are you quite satisfied where you are?
yeah, happy isn't
I'm
the
within
word.
melee range, so I'll get an attack of opportunity if I move. So I'm going to stay where I am because I'm a bit squishy, really.
Also, you don't want to wade into the sewage.
Oh, hell no.
It's kind of interesting to note that rats being what they are, they're swimming on the surface and climbing over each other to get to you. They're
Nice.
very effective movers, these little monsters. So that will make it their go. So this one that you threw backwards, Eugene, moves with a collected intelligence that you kind of hadn't sort of thought of, and starts deliberately trying to chase you, and comes at you.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, it's still within the 5-foot radius around you, because of the way we do things. So it moves into your melee range, but it doesn't move out.
Oh, got it. Yeah, sorry.
This one will move up, trying to hold you in place. You can still move through these rats, so you know. So they will all take bites at different people. So 2 against Roc, 1 against Aisling, and 1 against Eugene. Do 2 against Roc first.
Oh,
15 to hit.
yeah.
5 damage. And 10 to hit.
Yeah,
And
thankfully.
cool. And 1 against Eugene. 3 to hit. I don't think they hit. In fact, a couple of them peel off and bounce off against the back wall and kind of like are concussed. And a dirty 20 to hit Aisling.
Yeah.
7 points of damage.
Yeah. Well, that's taken away my 5 temporary hit points, so it's 2 points of damage at the
But
moment.
they do take 5 damage back, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes, because of my freezy frame.
Awesome. There are less of these rats than there were before. Some of them just freeze in space, like around you, and there's a couple that are actually frozen to you. But yeah, you kind of this shattering energy comes out, and in your voice you just go, on rats of all things, honestly.
It's not my fault.
What? What's not your fault?
Don't worry about it.
That will make it Aisling's go.
Okay. She's a wee bit boxed in here, so I know I can move through them, but
This one here,
I don't want to get...
This is the swarm that's looking a little weak.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna, in true Warlock fashion, Eldritch Blast the crap out of that one.
You will be doing it at disadvantage because of your proximity, but just so
But you do have Bardic Inspiration.
You do have your bardic inspiration.
That's true, and I'm gonna use an invocation on it as well, so it's gonna be an agonizing one.
Agonizing blast. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Roll with disadvantage. Let me know what the lower number is.
Okay.
You can roll the bardic after you see the number if you want to, or save it.
Yeah. Okay, so 16.
16. 16 will hit.
Yes. Okay, amazing. Right, so my invocation gives me an extra, what is it? Extra 2 points of damage. Okay, cool.
Add your charisma modifier to the damage.
Nice, yeah. And that is 7, so 9 damage on that one.
Sorry, I didn't catch it. You glitched a little bit. What did you say, sorry?
9 damage.
9 damage. 9 damage. You scatter the remaining rats, and there's an explosion. Describe your Eldritch Blast.
Ooh. I think it's gonna start very white and very, very simple, and then as it branches out, it turns into literal branches.
Oh, cool.
And they are beautiful branches that kind of like these sort of beams of energy, and just towards the end it's almost like they're winter and brackish, and
they go a bit black right at the tips.
Yeah, and they smash into this batch of rats, scattering what's left of them, crushing most of them, and just the couple that survive just kind of whimper off and scamper into the darkness away from you.
Yeah, get out of here.
That is one bunch of ex-rats.
Yeah,
excellent. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No, that was my full action, so.
Awesome. Eugene, you are up.
Okay. I think we will firebolt the bunch in front of us.
Yeah, they're immediately in front of you.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, go for it. Remember, you are at disadvantage.
Yeah. Mm, 11.
11 will hit.
Yeah.
Hey!
So is your fire purple?
Yes. And as it's like a conjuration spell, it kind of, he seems to like make some symbols with his hands, and then like a sort of like a portal opens, and it's like glowing and purple around the edge, and then fire just kind of rains from the ceiling like out of this portal.
Cool.
Amazing. Yep. That
Love
looks
that.
very cool. I really like that. Roll your damage for me, please.
It's just 2
Just 2.
after all that.
It's still damage. It is still like chipping away. Some of the rats are already on fire, by the way, and some more just go. And you hear little bit as some of them just like,
Oh no!
and you see one of them go and dive into the water and go.
Yeah, Eugene does not
Can
feel
you-
good about killing these rats, by the way.
Can you conjure some tiny headphones for Pocket, please?
That
Yes,
would be
I
the
actually can.
best use of that ability. Like, I'm going to make tiny earmuffs for my
And a little
rats
like eye
blind.
mask. Yeah.
Now I have a picture of Pocket on your shoulder with the headphones on, just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can dismiss him
Vibing.
for a flick of a wrists if you're really worried about this giving him major trauma.
Nah, he's seen worse things.
Technically, he's not a
God.
rat.
Yeah.
Technically.
What?
So awesome! Yeah, you do manage to fry some of the rats. That whole rat group is looking very thin on the ground. That will make it top of the round, and Roc.
Right. Roc is going to. First of all, as my bonus action, I am going to look at Eugene quite impressed and say, "Well done, Eugene. Well done. Very good for a first attempt."
It's my first day.
Yes. As I've said, dear, don't lead with that. That's your bardic inspiration as well, so you have a d6 as well. And for my action, I am going to draw my pistol and I am going to fire into the group of rats. I'm going to go for the one that's nearest to Eugene.
Yep.
As it is imminently attacking them.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, do I roll with the disadvantage as well?
You do, because it is close range, technically.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to. Did you?
But that's a natural 20.
Natural 20 still... Okay, yeah, go for it.
You might roll another one.
You might roll another one. It can happen.
No, but the second one's an 18, so
That's good. Yeah.
I'm not complaining too much.
Natural 20! Unfortunately, you rolled the 18. So what's that in total?
Yeah, whatever.
I think
20, what am I about? Plus 4, so 22.
22. 22 will definitely hit. It's literally double what was just rolled. So
Cool.
roll your damage, please.
I'm going to roll it in here so that it does the math for me, because math.
11 points of piercing damage. So you see Roc reach into his coat, pull out this small pistol with slightly glowing runes along the wooden butt, and it explodes. Gets off a which echoes down the tunnels, and then amazingly, the remains of these rats just scatter, and the few of them that are left alive just kind of again do the same thing, just dart for the darkness. You are 2 packs of rats down. Cool, excellent.
Yeah.
Anything else with your action, your round?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. That will make it. There you go. I would like you guys, one of you, just to roll a d20 for me.
I'll roll it if you'd like.
Yeah.
That would be a 9.
Right. They are not. Right. You see a sudden change in their general demeanour as they withdraw, and they will take the full disengage action and run away.
At which point I will obviously yell, "Yes! Yes, you run!"
So they get down to about there, I will say. That will make it Aisling's go.
Okay. I kind of feel like this is the point where we should run. What? I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna look at my compatriots and be like, "Should we just go?"
It seems like a pretty good idea to me.
But we're supposed to find out where they're coming from. We can't keep running away from them.
But there's going
What,
to
so
be
we should
so
follow
many of
them?
them.
But I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
they didn't seem
fine,
like they were
fine.
behaving like normal rats to me. It seems like there's something.
But no, the great
Controlling
big
them.
wave of rats was a bit of a weird... Come on then. All right, run. Fine, go on.
No, maybe following them is a good idea.
Look what you to make
Oh,
up your
God.
minds.
All right, okay, let's follow them.
There's
do
got to
it.
be something
I'm
controlling
going to say
them,
this
right?
conversation has kind of taken you out of combat. The rats in question
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
now.
while we're arguing, the rats are fucked off.
And you are left literally in the center of this sewer, like Eugene standing in the middle of the muck, which is coming up to his thighs at this point, and hasn't realised, and just arguing with you about what the best course of action is here.
Yeah, and Roc's going to turn around and go, all right, then let's follow them, and look down the alley, and they're gone. But now look what you've done. Now we've lost them.
But we still know which way they went, right? We can.
Yeah,
catch
we'll
up
just
to
go
them.
that way.
Fine. Right, now.
I'm just thinking that if
right?
they're clearly being controlled by something or someone,
Something's definitely odd, yes.
logic would suggest that if we follow them, they'll lead us to said thing.
What logic? I mean,
All right, okay.
Suppose it
Eugene's the
makes
clever
sense.
one. Let's just go where they went.
right, well, before we do that, are you are either of you both took a little bit of damage there? Are you okay?
Got a few scratches. It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm a little hurt. Gotta be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, we did. I suppose, out of my generosity, I could give you one of these, and I shall pass you one of the healing potions to Eugene.
Oh, yay.
Aisling, are you all right? You're okay?
I've got a couple of little scratches. Not bad though.
Well, I have many, many nasty little rat bites from those little bastards. Right.
Yeah, a bit rank in it.
I'm going to take the healing potion I have.
Me too.
Eugene, make me an intelligence check briefly. This is for your memory.
15.
15. You've never quite been able to explain how it works or why it works, but every single time that your sister has offered you one of her special buns and you've eaten it, you have felt healthier afterwards.
Oh, healing bread. Amazing. I'm going to eat some bread.
Finally, carbs that make us feel better.
Carbs always make you feel better. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
what do you know?
That's true. That's true.
Cool. So it is not as effective as So for intents and purposes, this is basically would be the equivalent of a lesser healing potion eating one of her buns, which is a 1d4 plus 1 if you want to use them.
Yeah, I will
I
eat
think
one
she
of those
gave you-
instead of taking the potion.
She gave you 3 for the road, didn't she? Yeah.
So you
What's
keep the healing potion
Yeah.
then, and I'm going to take mine though, because otherwise I'm going to die.
Oh god.
But that was probably the best roll I've ever rolled on a healing potion. I'm
Nice. Oh,
flabbergasted.
to note, sorry, this is the first bit of homebrewery we're going to talk about. In combat, you roll as normal for your dice. Out of combat, when you're taking time to consume your potions, you can take the full roll as normal, as healing. What we're doing is basically we're saying is like during combat when you're desperate to kind of you're like it's all over the place, you're spilling it down yourself, you're not swallowing it properly. If you're pouring it down someone else's throat, you're trying to like heal them up quickly. They will cough some of it back up, etc. Which is why you get the random number. Out of combat, if you take time, you're like, I'm going to make sure I get all of this.
Fair enough.
To
That
offset
makes
that,
sense.
if any of you guys learn how to make potions, there will be a random roll to see how effective they are.
That's cool.
So yes,
Like that.
you can take the full. I think it's 2d4 plus 2, 10 hit points from your potion, Roc,
That's all right. That's what I rolled.
and 5 for the bun, Eugene, because you're going to take time to eat it.
Awesome.
This is how you offset the fact that none of your characters wear armor.
Or have many hit points.
No,
or are in any way
there's no
whatsoever
squishy.
equipped to be adventurers. Yes.
It's just
Nope.
sort of something to kind of make potions a little more effective out of combat.
Makes sense.
Thank you,
That
benevolent DM.
Yes, good and benevolent DM.
I actually got that idea from someone else. So, Alex, if you are listening, thank you very much for suggesting that idea before. It is very cool, and I like it a lot.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
So, you are stood around. You're drinking a potion, eating a bun. Nice bun.
As you do, just randomly in a sewer.
Yeah.
And it's
I
something
hope you got hand
you.
sanitizer.
Yeah, it's something that occurs to you all. You are indeed now adventurers.
I'm just going to sort of say, as we have a moment, I'm going to say, well, I mean, you two weren't bad. I mean, you clearly have a lot to learn, but that's not bad for a first. I did very well done. Well done, you two. Well done.
I mean, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but it is my first day.
Is it? Is it really? Oh, good. Yes.
And on your shoulder, you just see this.
Yeah, I'm going to give the rat a knowing look. It's just like.
Not you too. You're supposed to be on my side.
Can just gently pats your face. Like gives that I'm always on your side, but you're not always funny. Moment.
He doesn't seem like those nasty little vermin. He seems quite nice. Your pocket friend.
He is. He's a good friend.
Well, the next time he could warn us about the plethora of rodents.
Well, I did say there were a lot of rats down here.
He's nodding.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, yes,
but we
fine.
didn't know they'd form a slight tsunami.
Well, neither did we.
Oh.
They're normally on like
It's
one
not regular
dimension.
rat behaviour.
Right, so what are we doing now? Are we still following
What are
them?
you doing now?
Are we following them? I mean, I thought we were following
Yeah.
them.
I
Well, they
say
went-
I think so.
They went that way, so
Yeah.
perhaps we should.
Awesome.
Right, well,
Yeah.
my lamp is ruined, obviously, so perhaps it's best if you and your rat eye friend.
Eugene, did you maybe want to like get out of the sewage?
He looks down. It's like, oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Do you want a hand?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I will just help Eugene out.
Has anyone got prestidigitation and we can sort your trousers out, babe? Oh dear.
No,
Okay.
No, but I will use my mage hand to kind of to pat Eugene down and perhaps like maybe squeeze out the water a little bit.
Okay, I'll use my mage hand as well and we'll team up.
Amazing. I feel like a good...
I mean, I have my own mage hand.
I've
but-
been-
All three! Just getting patted
He's
down
just
by
standing
hands.
there awkwardly while you're just patting him down, like, this isn't really what I imagined
Sorry,
adventuring to be.
Shh, just stay still. It's all right. Don't worry about it. We got it.
That may be the best use of mage hand I think I've seen.
That's all I can think of. Oh wait! I have some soap for some random reason in my inventory. So I will just rub a
Are
bit
you
of
just
soap.
gonna rub it on him?
Well, yeah, it smells better than the garbage bit. Right. There we go. Now you smell.
Yeah,
you smell better,
smell
at least.
like-
Awkward at this point. Like, there's just way too many people, spectral and human, actual hands touching him.
This is a bonding experience.
Yeah. Rox just looks massively uncomfortable himself. He's just going to kind of sort of give you one more kind of rub with the soap and just put it away and walk along. Whatever.
Well, I think I know which
my
moment
God.
I'm clipping for everybody this.
Oh no.
The spectral pat down. Yes.
Oh dear, amazing. So I feel like a good 5-10 minutes has passed whilst all these shenanigans are going on.
Yeah.
And you know which way they went, but you quite literally have lost these rats by this point. But you do know which direction they were going.
Okay.
All right, let's just go that way.
Awesome.
Let's come along then.
So you make your way across. You are going to have to jump across if you don't want to.
I
get in the
have
sewage.
mirthful leap. I've got big goat legs, so I'm going to do a proper jump.
Can you take me on your back?
I mean, you're already covered in sewage.
Oh, you're not getting on my back.
Really done much, to be fair.
I think
You
Roc
just wave your way.
Roc is gonna look at Eugene as if to ask if he can climb on Eugene's back, and then realise that it's probably not feasible. Can I use can I use acrobatics to try and jump across?
It's up to you guys. If you guys want to jump across, you can do so. I would just require a relatively simple acrobatics or athletics roll.
Well, yeah, I'll do that because I'm not trudging through sewage.
I've got
God.
Mirthful Leap, so I'll add a D8 to it.
Yeah, I think with Mirthful Leap, you do not really need to worry about it. You just
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Nice.
It's just poor Roc and Eugene who are not really built for that sort of thing.
I rolled a 21.
Nice, yeah. That looks very elegant as you land on the other side. Do not lose your footing and kind of bow. Eugene, it's up to you if you want to jump. You're probably not.
I mean,
I've
already been in. I know we just went through 5 minutes of a pat down, but I've already been in the sewage.
Could
so
you use
I'm
your
just...
staff like a vault?
He's just gonna wade through.
That's fine.
Oh.
As Eugene wades through, because there is still some moving water in this, the soap will start to bubble as they move through, so that there is now a trail of bubbles that Eugene is leaving as they wade through the sewage.
There is, I mean, to be fair,
Oh.
like, to make you all feel slightly better, it is a sewer. It is as sewers are. However, it is, by sewer standards, relatively okay because of the fresh water that runs through the city.
And
feel
now it
much
smells
better.
like Lush.
Yeah.
Now it smells like Lush soaps. Oh, God. Right, so you make your way, you leap across onto the other pathway and you keep moving forward. And as you get further down, you see, well, Roc, you don't see much at all, I'm afraid. You are completely at the mercy of your two friends.
Yeah, I'm behind Eugene now because I am being guided.
But Aisling and Eugene, you are aware as it comes into a much larger open area where there's, like, you know, like those massive, where lots of tunnels are meeting, and this is kind of like a central point and other tunnels are going off where it, and there's actually like a little bit of a mechanical maneuver to try and kind of keep heavy objects caught up and things like that. And the rats are not hiding. They are everywhere, and they are all watching you from every tunnel, from the walls, from the floor opposite you, along this kind of slow moving piece of machinery which grinds as it goes past. And you are face to face with an absolute horde of these red-eyed, multicoloured rats.
Okay, maybe this was a bad idea.
As you say that, you all hear in your mind, "Yes, we think it might have been. Who are you, and why do you come before the monarch?" And that
Am I
is
the
where
only
we are
one
going.
here?
No, I heard
we
it
all
too.
And I think that is a perfect place for us to finish today.
No!
Guys, thank you so much for staying with us, for joining us for our inaugural episode. It has been a lot of fun. Seriously, my face hurts from the whole pat down thing at the moment.
Thank you, everybody.
Mine too!
Thank you to my amazing cast. You guys are so much fun to play with. I really am loving this already. I have got so many plans for you all. I'm really, really, really excited to see where we go with these wonderful characters. Thank you to all of our viewers for popping past, saying hello, all the wonderful chat and encouragement.
Thank you, everyone.
You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
You've made that. We're going to do this anyway, but you guys being here, absolutely the best. Quick shout out. The map you saw today is by 2 Minute Tabletop. One of the two major map makers I go to. You'll probably see the other one in the advertisement, which is Dungeon Maker, who also makes phenomenal maps. So go and pop past and look at their stuff. It's really, really good. Music was by a variety of people. Majorly was Alexander Nakarada, and the other one was by Tabletop Audio, which did a lot of the sound effects stuff. Really good stuff. If you're using them like sound effects music in your tabletop stuff, please consider them. They're really good. If you're using Roll20 like I am, a lot of Tabletop Audio stuff is already readily available. Aftermath, Alexander Nakarada is amazing, and he gives away a lot of free stuff for people to use. All you need to do is just make sure you're shouting him out and letting people know where he is. I think that is it. Apart from to let the cast say thank you themselves. So starting, we're going to go in reverse order, I think, this time. Wayne, where can people find you if you want them to find you? And anything else you want to add?
Thank you, everybody. It really means a lot. And thank you, Chris, for putting all of this together. I know how hard you've worked on this. You can find me pretty much everywhere on WayneFic01, where I mainly talk about work stuff and sometimes post pretty pictures. But that's it. Just thank you for everyone for being here. And I hope that you will join us again. And thank you to my fellow cast members.
Amazing. Theo, tell them about you and the wonderful things you do.
I can be found most places at theoblue.jpg, except on Twitter, where I'm theoblue_jpg, because someone took it. Still not over that. So that there you can find my illustrations and other stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for watching. I had a really fun time, and I can't wait to do it again next week. So please come back and join us again for more shenanigans.
Amazing, thank you. It's actually 2 weeks' time we'll be coming back together. So
yes,
yeah.
Sorry.
I'd love to do this every week, but people have lives, unfortunately, at this point in time. We'll work on that one.
Apparently, some people have lives.
I know, it's just rude, frankly.
That sounds overrated to me.
Yeah.
Also, do check out what Theo does. Theo does a lot of support and big voicing for different parts of the queer community, particularly trans and non-binary, and it's really, really good stuff. And they always point us in stuff where I've learned so much. So I just really want to shout that out. Our wonderful Aisling, Charlie, please tell people where they can find you and what you're up to.
Yeah, so I did the character art for this round for us lot, so you can find more of my illustration work at charlievince.com, Charlie spelt without an E because I'm edgy, and all my social media handles and stuff are on my website, so please do feel free to have a look and say hi, and thank you to everyone for watching. You've been amazing. Thanks, Mum, for sending me lots of texts whilst we were playing. She's already planned a character to join in and everything. Wow. Mum is in it. Oh, yeah. And thanks everyone else. And Chris, you're an absolute hero. This is so much fun. I'm really excited to do more of these.
Thank you so much. I really do enjoy doing this. This is the first time I've played with Theo, but I knew that we would just in the energy and stuff, and Charlie and Wayne have to put up with my shenanigans a lot already. So I'm really pleased to have you all here. My name is Chris. You can find me Chris Mepham RPG on Twitter, and obviously on Twitch, where you are right now. Or if you're looking for me on Instagram to see more of my illustration work, it is Chris Mepham Art. ART. Yes. Also, thank you, Charlie, for the amazing character art. We're really, really excited by everything you've produced, and you've been an absolute godsend, like how quickly you've turned things around. But we would be remiss if we didn't say, Wayne, your hard work on all the graphics and stuff for this, and some of the video work and things like that is phenomenal. And this is what he does, and it's beautiful work, as you can see. So thank you so much. We will be back in 2 weeks' time, 3 p.m. on the 15th, I think. But keep an eye on the socials. We'll put out official stuff about it there, and we will find out who and what the monarch is. We have been Some Other Heroes. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Bye.